Afternoon and welcome everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Thanks so much for tuning to it. A fine Redemption Thursday to you and yours. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online. ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free always. Don't miss anything, but if you do miss something, remember, we'll get you caught up, or you can get caught up by going to the archived audio or iTunes. We'll post all 3 hours upon the conclusion of the program. Email the show if you like, jcs at 979espnradio.com. On Twitter, it's at jcameron show, WTSMF. Good for your mobile devices. And we're on YouTube if you want to watch us perform the show, ESPN Tallahassee on YouTube. I'll get to the wagers and World Series talk, Thursday Night Football, and all the goodness momentarily. Tom, I want to get your opinion on something right here at the beginning, because I was asking a friend this on Halloween, and then I was asking my wife this. You know, now that it's almost wintertime. We're getting closer and closer. We have these little days where it gets cool at night and all that, and afternoon's not so hot. You know, as a bald man, as I am, and I keep it, you know, like I don't even really let it grow out the way I used to. Like I still have hair, but I don't let it grow hardly at all. I just like to keep it completely bald. So I'm noticing something. A cool air hits me a little bit in a way it never used to. There's nothing up there now. It's like a baby's butt.
Mm-hmm.
Could I pull off a Kango? What you think? Like a daily Kango? Think I could get?
I think you have to grow out some scruff if you want to do the Kango.
I need a hat. I need a go-to hat that's part of the ensemble, part of what I am. It's the part of the presence to go with the glasses. You know, I need a hat, I think. Not that there's any – I like my bald head, and I don't wear hats. But in the cool weather, I'm thinking maybe to put on a hat. And I'm thinking maybe I could get away with one of those, like an old-timey Irish golf hat or something.
Yeah.
I think – but, you know, you got to have something that is versatile. It's got to be able to blend with a lot of things. If I'm wearing jeans and a T-shirt or you know, a nice casual sort of business attire.
See, well, you couldn't do this with the business attire, I don't suppose, but you could always pull off the skull cap. You know, the skull cap, it goes well.
Yeah.
You know, especially like the slimmer ones that they have for like the golf team. You see if we play the Ryder Cup overseas or whatever, you know, they put the skull cap on for the British Open. They're very thin ones, but, you know, instead of like the ones with the big ridge and the logo.
I think I need a good skull cap. Huh?
Yeah, I think a skull cap would do well.
I can get a Florida State, or I could do something for everything. I could have a Florida State, a FAMU, a TCC, local high schools. I could just don my local support for all things Tallahassee on a regular basis.
Just get some marker out and do what Deion Sanders did.
I just want to know, maybe I'll Twitter poll that thing someday.
Ooh, easy.
Throw that out there and say, hey, everybody, what hat are we working here? What do you guys think? What should I do? I don't know. I'm gonna try all these things on, and we'll find out. But I think that's the direction I'm moving as we get into wintertime.
There was the one day I remember this. You were walking up to the old station, not the old place of employment, but the old station out in All Saints, and you had the trench coat on.
Oh, it's just sweet. That's a good look.
And then you were rocking it.
I did
right?
rock it. Yeah.
That was all right. I think if you're wearing a trench coat,
it doesn't get cold enough. That was a 1970s style New York City trench coat. Mm-hmm. It had the wrap around the whole deal. It looked smooth as hell.
It did. Yeah, my dad had 2 of them in his closet growing up. So I was like, wow, look at you.
I broke it out.
You broke it out.
I bought that at one of those like old pawn shops or something like. Yeah, not a pawn shop, but basically one of those old just.
Yeah, third-hand stores.
Yeah, third-hand stores. Yeah, I couldn't think of third-hand store. Yeah, I did. Yeah, when I saw it, I went, "Oh, look at that thing! It's probably never get cold enough for me to wear it, but if it does, I'm going to." And it might have been a woman's trench coat. But it looks so good.
It was very slim.
I did. I wore it, and I will wear it again if we get cold weather.
I think the skull cap would look good.
All right, skull cap. That's what I got to do. Raymond writes, "Screw it, Jeff. Go all in and get a top hat." And he sent me a gif of Tom Petty. Don't come around here no more video with the big top hat. Yeah. Okay. All right. Maybe I will.
If you had that with 2 monocles, that is to say not actual frames for glasses, but you had 2 monocles.
Monocles.
2 of them.
Yeah. Out here trying to look like Bruce Arians with a Kango cap. Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily want that look. But I need something that's unique to, well, maybe not unique to me. Obviously, other people wear those. I saw somebody the other day wearing one. I thought, he's pulling that off. That's a good look for him. My wife's dad, my father-in-law, he pulls one off. He looks good. He's smooth old man with his caps.
My Pop Lang, he could really
He
rock
could do.
it.
He could rock it.
Buddy. Because everywhere he went, you would smell the pipe smoke, and something about the pipe smoke makes that A-OK. Like the Kango is now in play with the smell of the pipe smoke.
I wish I could. I wish it wasn't bad for you. I've always wanted to smoke pipes. I like pipes. I like them. I'm just saying.
Devastating.
I knew you would do that.
Devastating.
I knew you'd do that. We can have an adult conversation, Tom, about a man smoking a pipe, and you don't have to go into this crazy gutter of a place.
Devastating.
There are people walking around,
Man.
smoking pipes right now.
Yes. The reason I lost it was because of the look you gave me. I was okay, but then you looked at me
I
like,
knew.
I just said that. I know I did, and that's what put me over the top there.
Yeah. No, I knew it. Because I count on. I know you always are going to go straight there. That's your one Beavis and Butthead tendency. Is that you can't anything that can be associated with that other thing. You always your eyes get big.
Well, but that's also my generation too. Millennials are guilty of that in general. So that's where I really represent the cause here.
I'm talking about, an actual pipe with tobacco in it.
The funny thing is that now that I'm thinking about it, at Countryside Mall, which I think they changed their name to Westfield Shopping Center down there off of Enterprise in Clearwater. They had a pipe shop, but it now just dawned on me. The name of the pipe shop was Mr. D's Pipe Shop. I'm not even kidding. It was right in the corner near, I think it was the Dillards. Mr. D's Pipe Shop.
I wonder if he's still around. If Mr. D's.
But you walk by and it
smells great,
man. Like when my not to get serious, but when my grandfather passed and I walked by that place, I had to move
keep
quickly.
walking to tear you up.
No.
Man. All right, let's do my Redemption Thursday wagers. These cannot be mistaken for anything but wagers. Ole Miss. I never would have thought just putting a cap on and talking about smoking a pipe that you would be like, well, my word.
Come on, you gave me the look. That's not fair. I should just look this way whenever you say, okay. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll look the other way.
Ole Miss plus 3.5 versus Kentucky. Give me Ole Miss on the road. They're going to win the game outright. I don't even need the points. Ooh. Kentucky is been killing Kentucky lately. I had Tennessee against Kentucky.
You did. That's correct.
Nebraska -1 against Northwestern. Northwestern too highly rated right now after a couple wins they frankly didn't deserve. I'll take Nebraska -1 to get the game at home. Just picking a winner there. Virginia Tech -2.5 against Miami. I think for all the reasons that you think.
I mean, if this is in Blacksburg, you take that and you run.
Oh, my God. I wish it were in Blacksburg. That's the easiest win of the year. But
it's the 8 p.m. kick down there that makes you, if you're going to have
makes
pause,
you a little iffy. It's the only Rutgers +2.5 against Maryland. I like Rutgers to win the game outright. Don't need the points, but I'll take those points. Thank you very much. Arizona State -3.5 against Colorado. Vegas, again, they are in rare form right now. This is back-to-back weeks where their numbers match my numbers. And when I do numbers, it's based on a lot of different things. But I always, in my head, before I look at the Vegas Insider lines, go, okay, I think this is going to be such and such based on this, right? Whether there's a team coming off a bye or relative strength of schedule, look ahead games, all that stuff, right? So I'm looking, and it was funny. I said when I got to Arizona State, Colorado, this is a true story. I instantly went 3.5, 4 at the most, 3.5, right on it, and that's a good number. So I'm good with that.
Well, where's that game being played?
Arizona State.
Oh, advantage Arizona State. They don't have to travel, Jeff.
Thank you, Bobby.
They don't have to travel.
Southern Miss is getting 7 against Tennessee. They could just win the game outright at Tennessee. I'll take Southern Miss getting the 7. Wanted 7.5, but I'll work with my 7 and hope not to push. Vandy -9.5 against Western Kentucky. Give me Vandy. Still trying to get bowl eligible. Wyoming +3 against Colorado State. I've been on that Wyoming train for a while. They're doing some things. They got healthy. They're playing much better football than they did at the start of the year. Give me Wyoming +3. And in the NFL, I thought about playing the game because the Colts are 12.5-point underdogs, and they nearly knocked off Cincinnati, and I just feel like anytime you're getting that number, you should take it, but I didn't do it because the Colts are a train wreck. So I left it alone. I took the Rams, who've been good to me all year long. Mm-hmm. They're on the road against the Giants, but they're given 3.5. I think they win by 2 touchdowns. And then I'll take the Chiefs in a pick 'em against the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are going to be a little forlorn. They had things really rolling
No Zeke.
Yeah, no Zeke. That's got to hurt your feelings a little bit. A little bit of a step back. Give me the Chiefs and a pick 'em. It's just a legitimate pick 'em.
Boy, those are good games, but
real good games.
I really like your NFL picks, but I can't do it. I told myself no more NFL this year. This is your Fred Flintstone moment. You cannot touch the NFL. You can't do it. Yes, because you get screwed. This is how it happens.
Well, and your good friend Jeff Cameron across the glass from you tried to warn you on several of those NFL picks. Tom, I'd leave that one alone. I'd leave that alone. That opening week just pulled you too far the other way, and you wouldn't listen.
Yeah, well, once I lost the Cleveland-Tennessee bet, which was a slam dunk, and Tennessee screwed that one away, I learned my lesson.
Then. Yep, it was over. Yeah, though the NFL is impossible every week. Like, how would you bet Oakland, Miami? Oh, right. I mean, how are you betting that game?
The under.
I mean, it's garbage. I mean, Washington, Seattle's. These games. Here you go. Arizona versus San Francisco.
What's the number? 6.
Arizona was favored by, I think, 3.
That's it.
Well, Arizona's garbage.
Well, geez, it's not Garoppolo starting. It's Beathard.
I'm just saying.
Man, I don't even want to hear about these. I'm like, oh, that's a good number.
I'm going to tell you, I wouldn't be surprised if San Francisco wins.
Little Carlos Hyde to the house.
Just these two teams are, No, so there you go. Those are the Redemption Thursday wagers. On to the World Series, as it should be. Congratulations to the Houston Astros, who, I liked both those teams in the World Series. I did. I thought this was what was fun about it was there were a lot of compelling stories, a lot of interesting sidebars, a lot of talent, obviously. These two teams both won 100 games plus. And they gave us as good a World Series from a fan standpoint who doesn't have a team that's playing for anything that you could possibly ask for. I'm just a fan of baseball, love the sport, and want to see it put its best foot forward. This World Series gave us that. We got a little something for everybody. If you like a good pitching matchup, low scoring, you had some games like that. If you like a free-for-all home run festival, you got that. If you like comebacks and drama, you got that. In spades, it just went on for days. It was so much fun to watch. It was fitting that it got to go 7 games. Obviously, it's heartbreaking if you're a Dodgers fan to come all that way, to have the best record in baseball, to win 104 games. Even after you lost 16 out of 17 games in a stretch, you still won 104 games and put all that behind you. They actually lost 20 of 25 at one point. And still won 104 games.
That's incredible.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But they were clearly the best team in the regular season, and then the Astros were right there with them. And so we got what we wanted. The Astros win their first title as a franchise ever. 3rd straight season that a team has snapped a World Series drought of at least 29 years. Of course, the Cubs a year ago. And, you go back and you think to yourself that, when you're a city that's had what Houston has had happen to it, a lot of times, you'll hear people say, well, it puts sports in perspective, as if you need sports to do that or something to put sports in perspective. But I always like when sports is the thing that uplifts and galvanizes a city, and sometimes that's overstated. But it can't be with the magnitude of the tragedy that occurred and the destruction that occurred in the city of Houston that they're still recovering from, and to have that city lock in collectively to pour their hearts and time and emotion as a needed distraction into the Houston Astros, and they've never won a World Series title on top of it, and it all happens in a Game 7. And then they got really likable guys. I mean, who's more likable in baseball than Jose Altuve? I mean, it's really cool to see.
They came out the gate swinging. That's the most important thing about last night. They grabbed momentum. You don't want that crowd to be involved into the middle innings, and they took them right out of it. I mean, yes, it was a packed house, and the Dodgers fans would get up for the many first and second opportunities that they seem to have. First and second, nobody out. First and second, one out. But they were all silenced for the most part. There was not that thunderous inning where everything was on edge again. This series lived on the edge
Which
very
was
much.
So fun.
Not last night.
Good for George Springer, who's named the World Series MVP. He did hit 5 home runs in the World Series, which ties a record which was previously set by Reggie Jackson, of course, in 1977. First World Series I remember.
It's impressive.
I was 6. But, yeah, first one that I remember. And I only a little bit. And then Chase Utley in 2009 did it. But Springer had 29 total bases. That set a record for the postseason. 8 extra base hits. That's the most of anybody in a World Series. It just simply incredible. And again, when you think about how the Astros went from losing 100 games as recently as 2013, I guess if you're a fan of a team that is really bad right now and had been bad for a while, your hope is that your management is in a good place, that you've made good hires, and their process of evaluating talent, drafting, importing talent, making trades, and grooming an organization to come out from under the weight of all those years of losing is as good as the Astros, because it can be done. You've now seen it be done in that the Astros went from 100 losses in 2013 to World Series champions in 2017. That's not all that unique. In 2012, the Cubs lost 100-plus games. 2016, last year, they won the World Series. Now, they have considerable payroll, but nonetheless, it can be done. Previous to that, back in the 60s, of course, Miracle Mets did it.
You latched on to big-time sporting events earlier in life than I did. I'm finding this out. Usually you're around 6 or 7 when you remember most things, and for me, it's around 8 or 9. The first World Series I can remember is Atlanta-Cleveland in 1995.
Good World Series to remember. That was a great World Series.
Then, of course, I remember, after that, the picture becomes so much clearer. I can remember Hayes catching the ball in 96 in foul territory for the Yankees to win the World Series.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, it wasn't Encarnacion. The Marlins pinch hit. Renteria.
Edgar Renteria.
Edgar Renteria in 97, the three-peat. And then on we go.
Then you start doing it,
Usually it's around 8 or 9 years old that I'm remembering my first championship series.
It's interesting. I think you're right. The World Series more than most sporting events, although I can say also for the Super Bowl, I can remember Dallas and Denver playing. I can also remember the Steelers and Cowboys, obviously. So you're talking about the 70s. 77, 78, about in there. I'm remembering the Super Bowls from there. Not much earlier than that.
The first championship game I can remember is Florida State, Nebraska. I remember that one distinctly because I couldn't stay up. We fell asleep. We were in Disney for New Year's. My dad woke me up the next day and said the Noles won. I couldn't believe it.
And I was there with my father in attendance, and O.J. Simpson was walking the sidelines as a reporter, no doubt in his Bruno Mollies. But, there I was. I remember that, and my dad couldn't watch the field goal attempt. And I said, Dad, you got to watch. I mean, this is it. He's like, I can't do it. I've waited so damn long. We're going to screw this up. And, of course, it's so offline. It's such a bad kick. And from where we were, you could see he shanks the bejesus out of it. And as soon as he kicks it, if you're an old, you realize that's nowhere close. So you don't have to sweat out the waiting and watching the trajectory. Is that going to be?
Yeah, looking at the fans in the end zone.
Yeah, no. I'm watching. I went, no, hey, shake the hell out of that, Dad. I was picking him up. And, as soon as that's good times. I mean, that's a good memory. These championship memories are even fun for when you don't have a team. And I was thinking that last night, just as I did the other night, if you're some little kid like 9, 10 years old, maybe 8, 9 years old, and this is the first World Series you got into, and your parents could see your passion, so they said, all right, you stay up and watch this.
Well, they DVR'd it. You could watch it the next morning.
That's true. I mean, we didn't have that back in my day. You just missed the damn game is what happened.
You could tape it with ours. You could pop it in and put the record button. It was really hard to do that with my VCR, but anyway.
Yes. Eventually, it all happened that the VCRs came out, and we got very excited at that point. But I remember I would tape, and I still have this tape, and I have not gone back to look at it. I got to find it, but I have a tape of MTV videos. I would come home and put in a tape and just record 3 hours worth of MTV videos because MTV was this new thing, and it was in my mind, I'm a music kid, and I was thinking, this is the coolest thing ever. I just sit around and watch. I still have it. It just says in my little scribble handwriting, VCR has the sticker on the side. It says MTV videos.
I think the most obscure one I have is my family. Again, they made me go to bed, but it was the 96 Eastern Conference quarterfinals, the first series the Lightning made, first time they made the playoffs. They lost to the Flyers in 5, but they beat them, or in 6, excuse me. They beat them in Game 2 in Philly, and they taped it for me because they came back, tied it, and won it in overtime. So you know how that is. I mean, it goes 10, 11 o'clock, so they made me go to bed. But I have the tape of Brian Bellows' goal, and it was on this sorry channel because it wasn't that big of a deal in Tampa yet.
No.
WTTA 38. It was like not. It's the equivalent of the CW. It wasn't even the UPN channel.
Jesus.
WTOG 44.
Oh, TOG was the best.
It was WTTA 38.
Creature Feature used to be on WTOG back in the day. With Dr. Paul Bear.
So, really?
Yeah, but not that one.
Oh,
he was a skinny, ugly one.
Oh. Skinny ugly one.
Yeah.
Just skinny. Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah.
But you could see the grains. I mean, it was the worst channel in the world. But that VCR tape, I would go back and watch it
You
5 years later.
should get it switched to a disc of some sort.
Oh, it'd be so crappy.
You got to do it. Jeff Cameron Show 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
TNT Supercenter is your one-stop shop for the largest inventory of golf carts and accessories, stocking over 150 new and pre-owned carts with prices starting under $2,000. Whether you're looking for a standard or custom golf cart, TNT has the perfect cart for you. TNT carries and services leading brands and the full line of premium Mad Jacks accessories. Stop by or call to find out about our zero-down, low-interest rate financing, free delivery, and rental programs. Visit TNTSupercenter.com.
TNT. I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough, I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Or office. So sign up for free today at easylaundry.net, or you can give them a call, 850-597-9007. Again, sign up today at easylaundry.net. Oh, and by the way, I got you. Use promo code JCS20 and save 20%. That's promo code JCS20. You're saving 20% on your first order. That's easylaundry.net from Wash Around the Clock.
Do you want the cleanest used car, truck, or SUV at the lowest price? FranksAutoWorld.com. How has Frank's Auto World become Tallahassee's fastest growing used car dealer? Simple. Frank carries up to 70 of the cleanest used cars, trucks, and SUVs, then prices them on the internet lower than the competition. Think I'm kidding? Type in FranksAutoWorld.com on your smartphone, iPad, or desktop. Get multiple pictures and even a free Carfax of each vehicle and a rating by Car Gurus showing you the price is a good deal. FranksAutoWorld.com.
Fire up the grills for another season of Seminole football.
2nd and 3, patient, then explosive, and a touchdown for the Noles.
It's Tallahassee Game Day, your ESPN Tallahassee pregame show featuring Jeff Cameron and Tom Lang.
Yeah, I like them.
Get the latest news, interviews, and insights 3 hours ahead of kickoff before the Noles defend home turf.
Hey, on Saturday, we're going to play a game. We're going to most likely win that game, and we're going to celebrate on Sunday.
Tallahassee Game Day is brought to you by Whole Foods Market, a leader in natural and organic food that brings the highest quality of local and global products to Tallahassee. Whole Foods Market, located at 1817 Thomasville Road, and presented by MMT Clinics of Florida. Visit MMTCFL.com.
To the pylon! That's a Seminoles touchdown!
Football is here, Tallahassee, and if you're not watching the games at Tallahassee's favorite hangout, the Fourth Quarter Bar and Grill on North Monroe Street, you're missing out. With over 28 TVs, you'll never miss a second of the action. Kick your week off with Monday Night Football, where you'll get 2-for-1 wells, calls, and drafts all night long. Then there's Tuesday Night Trivia with Professor Jimmy. Go win yourself some money. What about lunch? Weekdays, pick from over 20 menu items for just $7.50, including a drink. What you doing for Thursday Night Football? How about the Fourth Quarter, where you'll get 225 domestic drafts, 275 domestic bottles, and $4 Jaeger bombs. No weekend would be complete without Bubbles and Brunch. From 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., get all the mimosas and Bloody Marys you can drink and a breakfast for $18.99. Can you say Uber? Knowles, Bucks, Jags, or Finns, no matter who your favorite team is, take it to 2033 North Monroe Street and watch them at Tallahassee's favorite football hangout, the Fourth Quarter Bar and Grill.
Beef O'Brady's Burgers Across America with Des Moines Triple Bacon, Green Bay's 5-Cheeser, or the Memphis Love Me Tender. All made with premium blend Angus. Pick any two for just $17. Beefs, but your Angus, it's good.
You're locked in with the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Mario must not have been listening. As soon as you said WTOG, I said Channel 44. Because he writes at Jay Cameron Show, I'll be impressed if you can recall the WTOG channel number without using the Google. I did, 44.
Even I knew that. That's where the
44, buddy.
Bucks preseason games used to be on growing up.
Everything great was on WTOG when I was growing up, but there weren't a lot of choices. That's Incredible, I think, was on WTOG too. You were not around for That's Incredible, were you?
No, I can't say that. No, it was Star Trek: Next Generation was on WTOG. The Bucks, every 10th Lightning game would be on WTOG 44. It was a real shock to the system when they changed it to UPN 44.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah,
it's not what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fran Tarkington and Kathy Lee Crosby were in That's Incredible, and I had a crush on Kathy Lee Crosby, who I believe at some point dated Joe Theismann and he cheated on her.
I feel like you have command on that, so I don't know that there's any unsure I believe detail to it.
I think that's right. Yeah, I think that Theismann wrote out on her.
What I remember that is WTOG had a weatherman named Justin, and the slogan was "Justin said it would."
Oh no!
It was the most. Oh God, yeah. And also they had a big campaign for Beasley Reese, who did the pregame shows
good old
for the
Beasley
Bucks.
Reese, yeah.
And the program, the promo was, "Better get your Beasley Reese." And then it's just him laughing. He's like, "Better get your Beasley." UPN 44.
Better get your Beasley.
The Bucks start here. Yeah.
The Colts have said no mas to the NFL season. They have put Andrew Luck on IR, so enjoy the Twitter feed of Civil War Andrew Luck or General Andrew Luck, whatever it was.
The David Wright of football. That's what he's going to be.
Colts have placed him on injured reserve. That, according to their GM, the decision came after Luck went to visit with the doctors earlier this week to ask why he was still having soreness in his shoulder. Also ends months of speculation. And he goes on to say basically about this. The one thing I want y'all to understand is that there's never been once a time where I've tried to mislead when the organization or that the organization has tried to mislead. This whole thing has been very fluid. That, according to Chris Ballard, the GM there, probably could have stated that a little better. But nonetheless, that's
so the organization's saying we're not lying to you.
Yeah, we're not lying to you.
We thought we had him.
Situation.
We thought he'd be good.
Well, I would also say this: even if Andrew Luck feels great, I'd just go ahead and sit his ass. They're not going anywhere. I mean, go ahead and get your first pick.
They're going to be a central talking point in the first round of the NFL draft. That's where they're going.
That's exactly where they're going. And I'm telling you, after this weekend, if the Bucks lose to New Orleans, the Bucks ought to sit Jameis Winston with the injury to his shoulder, especially if they believe that he needs surgery. And then you're just fooling around here playing a game that you have no business doing because you're going nowhere. If you win this game, you prolong it, I suppose, and try to play it out and see if you can get to 5-5 with the Jets and Dolphins coming up. Maybe you can. But, by and large, I think we all realize this is it. This is show and prove or call it a day is what this Sunday is for the Bucks.
It's an interesting scenario Tampa has on its hands down there because, with the shoulder injury, almost the worst thing Jameis could have done to himself was perform as he did
against Buffalo.
But it got worse And so the performance against the Panthers,
it, and he played exceptionally well in the process of re-aggravating it, and then that led to him not playing well the following week, especially because there were conditions involving win. And you do realize, and I know you do, Tom, but as they move forward and they go on the road in some of these places, like Green Bay later in the year, weather's not going to get better. And if you're having to give everything you got just to throw a 30-yard pass because you've got an injured shoulder you're playing through, it does nobody any good. You're not winning games that are important at this point. You just...
Well, and frankly, you could have won that game last weekend with Fitz. The way Jameis was hurt.
Good Fitz. There's the bad Fitz, too.
Well, yeah.
But you stood a better chance
to win the game where your defense only gives up 17 points. Hell yes.
No, you stood a better chance, I think, with a fully healthy quarterback that's capable on a given Sunday. You know, the problem with Fitz, and this has been the problem his whole career, is that he has games where he looks very capable and will win you a game which he plays well, and you go, man, he's got the throws, he's a strong guy, and then the next week he throws 5 picks and looks like an idiot. And that's who he is. So... You know, I'm not going to assume they would have won the game because I don't know which Fitz we'd get, but you stood a better chance to win the game because you just look. This is what a profound disappointment the football is for us right now. It's unbelievable. I'm still thinking of the angles by which, just as a football fan, that I can continue to invest. I mean, beyond my job. I am fascinated by aspects of what will play out in Tampa and here in Tallahassee. But the on-the-field aspects are diminishing greatly. Like, we haven't spent a second of this week, maybe much to the chagrin of a lot of people out there, I don't know. But we haven't spent much time at all actually talking about the football that's going to get played on Saturday at noon or 12:20. With Syracuse coming in, believing, playing well, Dino Babers got his team playing fast and inspired. They've got a chance to go above 500 if they get a road win. If they win the game at Syracuse, they're able to tell recruits as they slowly build that program back up, hey, we knocked off Clemson and Florida State in the same year, something that NC State should have done a year ago but didn't do either. Lost both to Clemson and Florida State despite outplaying them. You know, and they play tempo. They run 90-plus plays. Will we be ready for that? I mean, there are strategic, but we're not talking about that because what's important now is just whether or not the kids are inspired to play and bother to show some pride, bother to care about the people that came before them, all the Seminole teams that came in the previous years and players that don that helmet and the pride that you have just as a competitor. If you don't have that, you literally have nothing. And that's the storyline. I don't know. I don't think we can count on the fact that we're going to see that just because we're playing at home. I don't believe that team comes out of the tunnel on Saturday pumped to play football. I hope I'm wrong.
Well, and given that Syracuse likes to run upwards of 100 plays, somewhere in the 85 to 95 range, I mean, how many points do we have to score this weekend to keep pace? If the defense is uneven, let's just say they're sporadic. One drive they look great, the next drive they look like they don't care all that much, and they go back and forth. Upper teens, mid-20s, are we capable of doing that? Because apparently Jacques Patrick is not coming back till Clemson at the soonest. That's what Jimbo said last night.
Yeah, we're capable of it. But I don't know what we're going to run. I haven't been able to figure out this game plan the last 2 weeks, and I never say that. I'm not a game plan guy in terms of second-guessing Jimbo Fisher, whose football acumen is greater than mine, and everybody else is listening. I mean, can you second-guess decisions he makes? Sure, we all can. It's part of the fun of being a fan and watching and certainly having, at the very least, a cursory knowledge, and most of us have more than that, certainly. But I don't usually worry about game plans, although the last 2 weeks – we're just in the shotgun running slow developing plays on outside zone and guys from the backside making tackles because they're never threatened to have to stay home. We don't run any counter that way. We don't have them keep and roll out. What happened to the stuff we were doing against Miami and Duke where we were lining up playing very physical, running the football against Duke, a lot of play action, a lot of move in the pocket, buying time, keeping people honest, making them stay home. You got guys crashing down the line now every play. Nobody has to respect anything that we're doing. I don't know that he knows. He's desperately searching in that playbook of his to find the answer. But, man, the answer ain't in there right now. It's about what to, what for. It's about a lot of showing up and caring about the guy next to you and having some pride. But coupled with that not being shown, I don't know what we're trying to identify as our identity. I don't know what we are. I don't know what we're – and, oh, by the way, lost in this game last week against Boston College and how pitiful we played was the fact that for the first time, Cam Akers looked terrible. What the hell was he doing? He didn't run with any authority. There was no, this
could be freshman wall, could be morale shot because he's asked to do a whole lot more. He's responsible for a whole lot more, so his head's swimming. Could be. Problems, man. So are we, okay, as we approach this Saturday's game versus last Friday's game, do you feel more helpless about this game than you did Boston College?
No, I was much more concerned about Boston College. On the War Chant Report, all three of us picked Boston College. We wouldn't have done that if we didn't think that the team was on the cusp of quitting. I feared the kind of effort that you saw on Friday night against BC was coming. I was hoping to be wrong, and had I been, Florida State would have won the game because they're a better team. But I was very fearful, and I thought, I don't know, this isn't good. They keep coming out the wrong ways in these games that they're playing well in and that they have chances to win. You know, they had their heart ripped out against Miami. They had their heart ripped out against Louisville. Guys are getting hurt in the process.
Short week.
BC's playing well. All of the perfect storm elements were there where you go, this feels like a problem in the making. Let's see if they prove me wrong. And they didn't. In fact, they went over the top in the other direction. But I don't get the same sense of dread that I had for the BC game for this game against Syracuse. I just think Syracuse might be right now playing better football and they'll care more and will be, as you noted just a moment ago, kind of sporadic. I don't think we'll lay a complete dud like we did against BC, but I don't think we'll play inspired football. I think there'll be moments where you think, oh, they care. How many times can they get hit in the mouth and continue to fight is my question. They may come out and want to play, and then get hit. Can they respond?
I think the most important question is, does the offense give them a reason on defense to continue
what's
time
the
after
game
time
plan?
after time?
What's the game plan? Syracuse is greatly improved on defense. Greatly improved. It's not the same team you're used to seeing.
Did you pick Syracuse on the War Chant Report?
I did.
Did everybody?
Yes.
2 weeks in a row, huh?
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Yeah. Damn it. Jeff Cameron, Show 97.9, ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
TNT Supercenter is your one-stop shop for the largest inventory of golf carts and accessories, stocking over 150 new and pre-owned carts with prices starting under $2,000. Whether you're looking for a standard or custom golf cart, TNT has the perfect cart for you. TNT carries and services leading brands and the full line of premium Mad Jacks accessories. Stop by or call to find out about our zero-down, low-interest rate financing, free delivery, and rental programs. Visit TNTSupercenter.com.
TNT. I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
University. As the November female winner of the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac High School Scholar Athlete of the Month, Rickard's Nydia Donaldson is now qualified as a finalist for the Dale Jr. $2,500 End of the Year Scholarship. To help support our friends at Dale Jr., check them out on the corner of Capitol Circle Northeast and Miccosukee or by visiting online at Dale Earnhardt Jr. BuickGMCCadillac.com. Sports are defined by stats and performance, but here's a performance stat that no one wants to talk about. Erectile dysfunction affects half of all men over 40. That's 50%. If you're struggling with ED and other therapies haven't worked, isn't it time to feel like yourself again? Learn about a long-lasting ED solution from Coloplast to get you back in the game. Visit Dr. DeLay at Advanced Urology Institute, located at 2000 Centerpoint Boulevard, or call their office and set up an appointment today. 833-4-DRDELAY. That's 833, the number 4, Dr. DeLay. The sooner you seek treatment, the sooner you can get back to feeling like your normal self. That's 833, the number 4, Dr. DeLay.
Tallahassee loves the corner pocket as much as a crystal ball winning catch.
He's looking, he wants it to the end zone. It's Benjamin! Touchdown! With 13 seconds left.
The 97.9 ESPN radio special is a must-have every Monday and Wednesday at the corner pocket. 10 mouth-watering wings, a fresh side of fries, and a chilled domestic pint of beer are just $9.79 all day long. Be sure and try the fish blend of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
He's gone!
Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
Need a new heating system? Let the Home Depot do it for you. Our licensed professionals will do the job right. And now get up to $1,600 via online rebate when you purchase and install a new heating and cooling system through the Home Depot. Call 1-800-HOME-DEPOT or visit homedepot.com/HVAC to get started. Valid on in-home sales between October 19th and November 15th and installations paid in full by December 15th. License number CGC 1514813, CAC 1813767, and CAC 1818831.
Tallahassee is a diverse community with residents experiencing the world in different ways, but we are a community that sticks together. For 3 years, events like the Longest Table have provided spaces for us to come together and learn about what unites us instead of what keeps us apart. Now is the time for us to continue these important conversations, so let's keep talking Tallahassee. We want you to reserve your seat today.
For more information and to register, visit longesttable.com.
This is a court-ordered notice. Current and former Honda and Nissan owners or lessees can receive payments and other benefits from a legal settlement related to allegedly defective Takata airbags in their vehicles. To see if your vehicle is included and to file a claim, go to autoairbagsettlement.com or call 1-888-735-5596. That's autoairbagsettlement.com or 1-888-735-5596.
Live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Redemption Thursday on the Jeff Cameron Show is brought to you by Frank's Auto World on West Tennessee Street, ranked by Car Gurus as the best used car dealer in Tallahassee. Check out the best selection of pre-owned vehicles in Tallahassee at franksautowworld.com.
All right, so already, since I began the show talking about hats, on YouTube you can see the look that I'm going with here. Holton came through for me. People are now going to, is this going to be a thing? I'm going to have various kinds of hats. This is like the soccer thing, right?
It's that, yeah. You could be wearing that at a ski lodge too, you know? You'd be at the top of the slopes.
Well, when I go skiing, whenever that happens, and it may be sooner rather than later because the kids are just on me about taking them somewhere where it snows, I'm going to have something. I wasn't bald the last time I went skiing. I used to go skiing every year, and tough life. But we went to Colorado and Utah and did Sugar Mountain and Beach Mountain in North Carolina, places like that. That was crappy skiing there, but the good skiing's in Colorado and Utah was great.
I've never skied.
You'd like it.
Yeah?
Well, you like cold weather. So
I do. I very much enjoy
and
cold
also
weather.
the ski suits you wear and the views are breathtaking and ski lodges are pretty nice. And, yeah, it doesn't suck. It's a fun activity. And you can get – I mean, you're reasonably athletic, so you'll be all right. I mean, you can pick it up pretty quickly.
I got good balance.
And if you're a little kid, you pick it up like in an hour, literally. And when I first did it, I was like 7 or 8 years old, and within an hour I was skiing like going on the blues and then whites and then
It's incredible how much of a sponge you are when you're a kid.
Oh, it's
right?
crazy. Your brain picks it up. It's like languages too.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
I was going to say, good luck learning a new language now.
Yeah, in your 40s, a little bit more difficult.
Can't even speak the one you learned by the time you're
like,
50 or 60.
What's happening?
You know, the thing.
Yeah. You know, the thing is very common for people in their 50s. Indeed. What's weird is you learn to understand.
Right.
Yeah, you know what they're saying.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm sure you have that kind of connection with Christy where depending upon the sound or, it's like, oh, well, you need me to grab you a ballpoint pen?
Right. Yeah.
Here's a ballpoint
Couldn't
pen.
remember the word ballpoint pen or the description of ballpoint pen, but I knew you needed a pen. Yeah, that's true. By the way, the Dodgers fell to 0-3 in a winner-take-all World Series game at home. They've never done that. They've never won at home. Never came back to win a World Series in which they trailed 3-2 either. They lost all 7 series when that's happened. They clinched the pennant first. Teams to clinch its pennant first have lost each of the last 9 World Series. So if you clinch the pennant first, you're screwed. Don't celebrate. You don't want to be the first to clinch the pennant.
That makes sense. We swept in 15, so there you go.
There have been 7 World Series clinched on the Dodgers' home field. That'll hurt your feelings. The Astros in 2017, the Yankees in 1978. The Dodgers did do it at home in 1963, but this is why the Dodgers fans, no doubt, hate the Yankees. 56, 52, 49, 41, or if you'd like, 41, 49, 52, 56, the years in which the Yankees clinched on the Dodgers' home field.
In Brooklyn, for most of those.
Yeah. Dodgers finished with the best record in baseball. No team that has ever played. So this is crazy. Some of these Elias sports numbers are amazing. The Dodgers lost 11 straight games in September. No World Series winner has ever had a double-digit losing streak in the same season. So if you lose 10 or more straight in a regular season, I don't care if you win 104 games, you ain't winning jack.
You're dead.
You're capable of that. That's actually kind of one of those classic, you're capable of looking like that, I can't trust you.
Yes. You might say that there were warning signs for this program where there were moments where you'd say, you're capable of that. And then this season came and some weren't surprised. The alert few.
So nobody's ever had a double-digit losing streak and gone on to win the World Series. Nobody's ever lost 16 of 17 games at any point like the Dodgers did in August and September and gone on to win the World Series. The Dodgers were the first team in the wild card era since 1995 to make the playoffs the season it had a losing streak of at least 10 games. That I didn't. That's interesting.
Well, they win 103 overall?
104.
104. So they won 103 out of 145 games then if you take out that 16 and 17. That's pretty incredible.
There was a stretch this year. You remember when we were doing probables, and the Dodgers are starting so-and-so tonight, and I think they had won 20 of 21, 20 of 23.
It was something
crazy.
Stupid. You got to a point where you were razzing Matthew back here saying the Phillies have 22 wins overall.
And the Dodgers have won 22 of their last 25 games.
Yes,
yeah. No, there was a stretch where they were responsible for absurdist numbers where we would, as baseball fans, you'd go, well, people don't do this. This is insane.
I think it got up into the low 30s, like 31 to 35, something crazy like that. Yeah.
But then they also lost 16 of 17 and 20 of 25. That is, you just don't see that. That is very, very strange. I mean, thinking about it, that is crazy that team won 104 games but also lost 20 of 25 and at one point won 30 of 35. The hell's going on?
They took a vacation. Clear.
Altuve tied Carlos Correa, Lance Berkman, and Carlos Beltran for the most RBIs by an Astros player in a single postseason when he got an RBI last night. 14.
All right.
Lance McCullers is the first starting pitcher to drive in a run in a World Series winner-take-all game since Hall of Famer Bob Gibson did it in 1967.
Should have thrown home there. I don't know what the hell they're doing. I mean, they even froze it, and Smoltz kind of glazed and grazed over it.
He thought maybe they didn't have a play.
They had a play. It's McCann. Did you see the slide? It was like a flop. You could even hear it. When he hit the ground, it was like, honk, honk. They had a play at home. Most certainly they did there.
Game 7, before Andre Ether's base hit, the Dodgers were 0-10 with runners in scoring position. To echo the point you were making about there are times it felt like for the Dodgers a bit like a seminal postseason baseball game that we lose.
Yeah,
where
10
guys are
LOBs,
on,
right?
Yeah, where you're like, man, usually a great sign when you have that many men on base. Like if you have games back-to-back, people will start to panic. When you have guys back-to-back, you leave double-digit men on base. I'm always like, no, they're doing a lot of things right. We're going to be okay. Keep good and buys on base. I'll take my chances that some will get driven in.
I'll bet you were thrilled to see your man Jock Peterson strike out in a big spot last night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well.
And turn in disgust and yell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that probably warmed your heart.
A lot of emotions from that team and from these two teams in general that we've touched on. Yesterday I mentioned that it'd be very interesting to see who wears some fastballs when these two teams play in the regular season.
No, this is interesting. I'm gathering here. I think I nailed this one. You were rooting for Houston by the end of the series? By last night?
Yeah, I mean, the Dodgers have a rich history and championships galore. So, yeah, I was rooting for the so-called underdog. Yeah, I was. I mean, rooting, I feel for Houston with all that they've gone through. I talked to a buddy of mine who's from Houston, and he's still got family there, and he was describing to me some of the problems that persist in Houston. And so I have empathy, like anybody would, for people going through this terrible set of circumstances with all of the flooding that's happened. And that coupled with the fact that I don't really have a like or a dislike for either organization. I'm indifferent. So you're always looking for a reason to root for somebody. You know, if I had a friend, you know, when David Ross was playing, I rooted for David Ross. He played for the Dodgers, and I would root for the Dodgers back then, just like I did wherever he went. I rooted for him to do well. But if I don't know anybody really per se, or even have any sort of, you know, fourth or fifth level connection to an organization, like I know a friend who works for the organization who went to Florida State or something. I mean, no, I don't even have that. So.
But you sound generally pleased with the result.
Oh, I am generally pleased with the result, genuinely pleased with the result for Houston. Because, again, I felt for that city, and I like their players. I like Jose Altuve a lot. There's a lot to like about him. I think they're a fun team to watch play. You know, during the regular season, we talked about how they were the ante of everything that was statistically going on in baseball. So the outlier in baseball this year was Houston putting the ball in play constantly and not striking out and doing things that at least allow for more action in the games. And by and large, the complaint against baseball has been there isn't enough of it. They were different and fun.
So you'd rather see people copy off of that team if it wins the whole thing.
Without question.
Yes.
Also, you know, look, it's not lost on me the Dodgers payroll. I like to see the major payroll teams lose. Typically, I do. Listen, I'm not saying the Astros haven't spent some money, but when payrolls are absurd, I like to see those teams lose. Like the Yankees, when they lose and they have a $300 million payroll, I'm like, oh, sucks to be you.
Which is why you pulled for my mid-market Mets when they were in the World Series in 2015.
Those mid-market Mets always. Well, like I said, if I had a reason, and in this case, my dear friend is a Mets fan, and I grew up going to spring training games with the Mets, meeting Rusty Staub and Lee Mazzilli.
You hear that silence that comes with the end of the World Series? It's like the Saturday noon 12:20 kick.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
There's nothing to run to.
That's true. Hour number 2, forthcoming. Stay with Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Brady's Burgers across America. Dender, all made with premium blend Angus. Pick any two for just $17. Beats, bet your Angus it's good.
Proof Brewing Company is Tallahassee's first and largest production craft brewery since 2012. They are locally owned and operated inside Railroad Square Art Park. Visit Proof's expansive brewery, outdoor beer garden, and tasting room with live music on Friday evenings. Proof Brewing Company's award-winning beers 850 and Mango Wit are now available in 6-pack cans. Follow Proof Brewing Company on Facebook or visit online at proofbrewingco.com for more info. Proof Brewing Company reminds you to please drink responsibly.
As a Marine serving in Afghanistan, I conducted logistics patrols in some of the world's most dangerous places.
The Sport Clips Help a Hero Scholarship Program helps U.S. military veterans like Jacob Deeds gain the education and training needed to transition into civilian life.
When I came home, I was ready for a new mission. The Sport Clips Help a Hero Scholarship is helping me get a degree in electrical engineering. Help a Hero took a load off me and my family.
You can donate to Help a Hero at all participating Sport Clips locations. Just ask your Sport Clips stylist or look for the Help a Hero donation box. And on Veterans Day, November 11th, Sport Clips will donate $1 for every haircut. That's what we call making your cut count.
My name is Jacob Dietz, United States Marine, and I'm saluting you.
Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy. To learn more about the Sport Clips Help a Hero Scholarship Program, visit sportclips.com.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan. Once again, all of you with stellar credit ratings, congratulations. And this message is not for you. All year I've been talking about our New For You program to assist good people with dings in their credit. And just last week, a friend of mine came into my office worried about his own credit rating. But thanks to our New For You program, you guessed it, he drove away in a brand new Nissan Altima. We are proud of the fact that we have helped hundreds of people that were previously limited shopping little used car lots where they overpaid, got huge finance charges, and had very few choices on cars to purchase. Some of those lots may actually hurt your credit more than they could ever help. So remember, credit score under 600? Come on in. Recent bankruptcy? Come on in. Recently divorced? Come on in. Think you have a financial problem we've never heard of? Come on in to Kraft Nissan. And come see the one dealer in Tallahassee that can really help you out. Come see the cars that everyone wants at the hottest dealer in town, Kraft Nissan. And remember, if you don't see the Kraft tag on your car, you paid too much, way too much. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco, or visit us on the web at craftnissan.com.
Tallahassee loves the corner pocket as much as a crystal ball winning catch.
He's looking, he lost it to the end zone. It's Benjamin! Touchdown! With 13 seconds left.
The 97.9 ESPN radio special is a must-have every Monday and Wednesday at the corner pocket. 10 mouth-watering wings, a fresh side of fries, and a chilled domestic pint of beer are just $9.79 all day long. Be sure and try the fish blend of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
He's gone!
Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
Football is here, Tallahassee, and if you're not watching the games at Tallahassee's favorite hangout, the Fourth Quarter Bar and Grill on North Monroe Street, you're missing out. With over 28 TVs, you'll never miss a second of the action. Kick your week off with Monday Night Football, where you'll get 2-for-1 wells, calls, and drafts all night long. Then there's Tuesday Night Trivia with Professor Jimmy. Go win yourself some money. What about lunch? Weekdays, pick from over 20 menu items for just $7.50, including a drink. What you doing for Thursday Night Football? How about the Fourth Quarter, where you'll get $2.25 domestic drafts, $2.75 domestic bottles, and $4 Jaeger bombs. No weekend would be complete without Bubbles and Brunch. From 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., get all the mimosas and Bloody Marys you can drink and a breakfast for $18.99. Can you say Uber? Knowles, Bucks, Jags, or Finns, no matter who your favorite team is, take it to 2033 North Monroe Street and watch them at Tallahassee's favorite football hangout, the Fourth Quarter Bar and Grill.
Broadcasting live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. Going back to training camp, and even earlier there had been speculation, and now it's official. Colts quarterback Andrew Luck will miss the entire season after shoulder surgery back in January. The team will put Luck on injured reserve. He tells Colts.com that he's very optimistic about his future. The Colts are 2-6 this season. Another setback for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Forward Tristan Thompson will probably be out 3 to 4 weeks with a strained left calf. The Cavaliers have lost 4 in a row. They'll play the Wizards tomorrow night at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Angels outfielder Justin Upton will stay in Anaheim. He gets a new 5-year contract, adding a year in exchange for not opting out of his old deal, which he could have done by Saturday. The new contract is 5 years, $106 million. For the 12th time, the University of Connecticut is the preseason #1 team in women's college basketball, this time unanimously getting all 32 votes. Texas is ranked second, Baylor third.
It's official. Weekends are now reserved for football. So come watch it at B-Dubs with other fans who are all there for the same reason, to watch sports. In a place packed with roaring fans and a vast menu of food. It's built for fans. It's home for football. It's Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Redemption Thursday on The Jeff Cameron Show is brought to you by Frank's Auto World on West Tennessee Street, ranked by Car Gurus as the best used car dealer in Tallahassee. Check out the best selection of pre-owned vehicles in Tallahassee at franksautoworld.com.
Hour number 2, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Hello, Redemption Thursday, kids. We got wagers for you. They're forthcoming. Hang in. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free always. Don't miss anything. But, hey, all 3 hours going to be posted both on iTunes and in our own audio vault, so you don't have to miss things. And if you do, you can get caught up. Hey, Battlefront 2 is coming out soon, buddy. Yeah. Kids are excited. Racing over to Games for Less. That was a plug. That was a plug. Yeah, my kids are excited.
They play Battlefront?
Oh, yeah. That was all they played for the first game.
Buddy, I'm thinking about the Call of Duty World War II game that's coming out right now.
Which I'm also excited about. Just tweeted about that. But, no, I'm talking about Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm pumped for that.
Yeah. Online, ESPNTallahassee.com. You can email the show if you like, JCS at 979ESPNradio.com.
I mean, hints, I'm pumped about that game.
At J. Cameron Show is the Twitter account, and on YouTube, it's ESPN Tallahassee. Yeah, it'll be good times. When does it come out?
November the 17th, I believe.
Right around the corner.
That's a Friday, though. That doesn't sound right.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Usually they're Tuesdays for game releases.
Like the music releases, too. But there was a time where music releases were a big damn deal because you went to the record store.
That's right, November 17th. There it is.
I'm going to, any chance I get, as you know, lament the loss of record stores. We should never open that door because I always jump right through. As soon as just to get a little crack, I'm like, whoa, loss of record stores and arcades are the end of the world.
Well, arcades, I'm totally with you.
You're like, oh, well, now arcades, Cameron.
Remember the one in Santa Monica? It was huge.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Santa Monica was nice.
It was pretty nice. I can see why people settle down there.
Yeah, me too. It's got a little something. We won't be headed out there or to any bowl for that matter. And this is really true if they lose Saturday without question. It's no longer this theory like, well, I don't know if we're going to, we'll see. They got to do. No, they'll be done. That'll be it. And that's probably why they said, we're not real sure we're going to make up that Louisiana-Monroe game yet. We'll know after Saturday. Okay. Yeah, so win that game, and we're making it up.
That's assuming you're going to beat Florida, though.
Oh, that's assuming a lot.
Yeah.
That's assuming you're going to beat Delaware State.
Well, I mean, really? They can't beat Georgia Southern good,
I don't know. I haven't looked.
I'm glad we're not playing Georgia Southern, UCF, USF,
Southern Miss,
FAU, FIU.
Any of those. Well, you better be glad we're not playing UCF. Holy moly. I hate to admit it. I mean, we might get
UCFAU's offensive numbers?
We might get boat raced.
Since week 2 or week 3, Chris Brown, Smart Football, put a tweet out that Lane Kiffin's FAU offense is rolling, buddy.
I'm kind of curious, and I'll get to my wagers momentarily. This is interesting, though, and we're always interested in the state in general. Obviously, everybody's got their affiliations and their allegiances. But just college football in this state is very fascinating, always is. Would you, if you were Florida, hire a 42-year-old head coach in Scott Frost, whose record is overall 12-7? It's not like he's been lighting it up, but his offense is doing some things, and obviously he gained a lot of momentum as an OC at Oregon, and he's done a lot of good things at UCF in his short time there. So do you think that would be something? I mean, there is speculation that he is part of that coaching search for Florida. I'd be surprised if they hired him. Let's just put it that way.
I think the attractive thing there is not just the youth of the head coach, but the style of the head coach. Offense somehow got worse than it was under Muschamp with Jim McElwain. And suspensions have a lot to do with that this season. I got you. And then there was also the steroids thing, too, which kind of hurt their cause. But I would think you want to play dynamic offensive football and start getting some skilled talent back to UF. I think it was Corey who said that, you can be boring and win, and that's okay. But if you're losing and you're boring, man, nothing drives fans away from the stadium on Saturdays quicker than that. So I think they need to get exciting again before they really start contending. So if I was going to make an argument for Frost, I'd say that. Probably not, all that being said, but if they made that hire, I totally understand why.
Well, in the context of what Florida was when they got it all turned around and finally moving in the right direction and began to actually win big the way that many people thought they should for years and years and years but never did or sparingly did, in that context, you would say that Steve Spurrier was the catalyst for all of these heightened expectations, and his turnaround of Florida football and arrival in the SEC in 1990 changed the game, and they lit it up. And it was a revolution, if you will, in the SEC, which at that time was 3 yards in a cloud of dust. And currently, UCF leads the nation in scoring average at 51 points per game. If you're longing for the days that are Spurrier-esque in which you throw it around the lot and your offense scores 30 to 40-plus points a game, then maybe you would give it a good long look. If you want a guy who's got vast experience and has proven himself to be a winner over time, he is not the guy because he just hasn't had that chance. Before being a head coach at UCF, he was a very successful OC, but being an OC is not the same as being a head coach, and being an experienced head coach matters, I think, when you hire a guy like you just did with Jim McElwain, who had some head coaching experience at Colorado State, had some success. Prior to that, had been on Saban's staff as an OC, but obviously that didn't work out, didn't have a long-standing proven track record, and I would think they would want that guy. That's what Dan Mullen is. But there are other – Willie Taggart's a good hire if they go that route. There's a lot of guys that you would talk about to fill that role. I'm just curious, Florida fans, we have a lot of them listen to this show, and I'm curious where their head's at as to what kind of coach they want.
Yeah, I would think you stay – well, Willie Taggart apparently – no, I don't know. This is the coaching rumor game, so they change by the hour. But I thought there was an early report out that he said not interested in the Florida job. Now, who knows? Maybe the number changes and the interest level changes, and that could be a bogus report. It could be that Willie's responding at a press conference, in front of the Oregon logo.
I would think that would exactly be the case. No coach right now. I mean, for that matter, Scott Frost just said he's not interested. My ass.
Right. I would think we can do better, if we're Florida than getting a Scott Frost. Than getting – you don't want Charlie Strong either because of what happened in Texas. You just don't need that. I saw some speculation that maybe he'd want to get him back because of the way he recruited, and he, again, would bring a little bit more vibrance and youth into the program. He could inspire a little bit. But I think Dan Mullen's the first person you circle. It's somebody who's proven in the SEC West that he can hang around, even though he doesn't have the resources anywhere close to what Alabama has. He can at least hang around, win a couple of games he's not supposed to, and he's got the track record too. It's always nice and a cherry on top if you can bring somebody back to the university who's had success at your university. So I think it's a win-win if you go get somebody like Dan Mullen. You're taking a chance of putting your program in the doldrums for another 2 or 3 years if you bring somebody who's unproven who has failed at another stop.
The Willie Taggart thing interests me because interests me. He's from Florida. He was a star in the state of Florida. He grew up in Florida. He's been a really good recruiter in the state, and obviously had success at USF. And the only reason that you could think that he would be sincere in saying, and I'm not. Coaches have to kind of manipulate that situation. It's difficult. He's only been the Oregon head coach since 2016. I mean, he's signed a 5-year deal. He's been there a year. Prior to that, he's with South Florida for 3 years. Did a great job. Coaches, Oregon isn't the stature of program, obviously, that Florida is, nor is he doesn't have any local ties like he does in the state of Florida. I mean, it's the polar opposite. But I think it's hard for coaches, not that they wouldn't do it, but I think it's hard for coaches to sign a deal. He signed at the time a 5-year, $16 million deal to go to Oregon. It is a big-time school. It is a Nike school. It is a Power 5 school. They have had success. He's doing a good job of recruiting even to Oregon. To leave after 1 year, That can be tough. Timing could just be off right now if Florida wanted him. I don't know if they do. We're just speculating. It's that time of year, and soon we're going to be speculating about a lot of coaches, including to people who Jimbo's going to try to bring to his staff.
I mean, and money aside, so what would Florida have to come with? $4 or $5 million a year to go get him?
Money's not the issue. Yeah, they could do that.
I mean, are you going to want to commit $4 or $5 million to Willie Taggart, who hasn't proven yet?
I think it would be the right hire. I'm hoping they don't make that move.
But if I'm Willie too, I'm just saying that it's not a given.
If I'm Willie, I take the damn job. I take my $4 to $5 million or whatever they offer me.
If they came with, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is he really the guy that you want to go and spend $4 or $5 million on right now, knowing what you know from his South Florida days and the incomplete, grade report on what happens at Oregon? You sure? You $4 or $5 million sure?
He's 40 years old or 41 years old. He's successful. He's a great recruiter, and he's been good wherever he's been. So I don't.
Isn't Dan Mullen the least risky, however, presents the highest ceiling hire at the same time? Or are you saying Willie Taggart could present a higher ceiling?
I think potentially a higher ceiling, yeah. But listen, I like Dan Mullen. I've said that before. I think he's a good hire as well. I don't think it's a miss if you hire Dan Mullen. I thought they should have hired him before because I don't think they could have gotten, at the time, Justin Fuente. Well, I shouldn't say couldn't. But I don't think they wanted to necessarily. And I love Fuente, and I've talked about him. There are a lot of good football coaches. We could do this, play this game. I mean, there are about 10 guys I really like. Who there are those guys that are low profile who do more with less, that aren't necessarily always on somebody's radar because they're not at a big time school, or they get the most out of their teams and they recruit well and they've got good connections to in this case, the Southeast. Then there are guys that I admit you'd really be taking a risk on. That don't have any ties to the South whatsoever, but have proven that they can take something that's in disarray and build it back up. Yeah, I mean,
listen, Florida fans can like what they like, and I'm sure many have differing opinions. I wonder what the booster opinion is like. But to me, if you're taking a Lane Kiffin or a Taggart or a Scott Frost or Charlie Strong, those feel a little bit risky, all for different reasons, but they're all risky. I feel like Dan Mullen is just the right hire because it's not just a name from the past. He's doing well. He's succeeding in a place where you're not supposed to succeed at the level he's doing so. So to me,
there's real safety in that, by the way, if you're him.
And he's comfortable in the Gainesville surroundings, though. You know what I mean? Like, he's been there. He understands how the community works. He didn't have to work with them like Urban did, but he gets it. He knows the game.
He's only 45 years old. He's not old either. Like you said, he's 66 and 44 at Mississippi State. He's been good.
The offense he runs isn't outdated. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's the right hire. If you can't get him, then, you could open up all options.
I would think you could. He does have the ties to Scott Strickland. Now, what's interesting is, depending on who you talk to, that relationship wasn't always good. Scott Strickland was at Mississippi State in the administration there during Mullen's tenure before going to Florida. So, I don't know.
So, if they hire Taggart, you're the most worried as a Florida State fan of any of the, even Kiffin?
Because I think he would have a greater impact on recruiting right away. And we're down right now. So, that would be, my fear is the recruiting. There are a lot of good football coaches. A lot of guys know the X's and O's, and there are people out there as good, if not better, than Willie Taggart in that regard. But young, energetic, successful, and really good at recruiting.
See, Mullen would scare me the most because I think he brings back respectability really quickly, and I don't mean image, whatever. He will automatically. Whoever the new guy is for a year, the new coach smell, it's like the new car smell. Everybody likes it. So, I think there's going to be a spike no matter what you do with a new hire with favorability ratings. But I just think he brings competence, and offense is going to come with him because you can do more with less with Dan Mullen right away.
And, of course, they had better players, and it helped that they had, a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. But, by the way, as far as the offense that would come, in his time with Chris Leak and Tim Tebow there, Mullen set records. They averaged 37.7 points per game. It was all there.
Well, I'm not saying he'll be a top 15, top 20 offensive coach in the first couple of years. I'm just saying he'll run a scheme that's simple enough that he can, patchwork it together to where he'll win some games he's not supposed to. He's got a plan, man. I think that's the most buttoned up, reasoned person to hire, and if they do, I thought Dan Mullen would be a great successor to Jimbo whenever Jimbo decided that he wanted to take the LSU job or whatever job it was.
Well, he certainly runs a different offense than Jimbo, and one that would incorporate the quarterback running the football more often, which would satiate the appetite for some. But at the same time, I'm not as concerned with the style of offense. I'm concerned with other elements that and refusal to adapt in certain other areas, tempo in particular. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Sale. They called Joe Manassa, and here's what happened next. Joe sold their home for top dollar in less than 1 month. Joe expertly marketed their home, handled issues with repairs, surveys, and easements for a smooth transaction with the maximum money in their seller's pocket. You want Joe on your side. Joe guarantees to sell your home at a price and deadline you'll agree to, or he'll have it bought for cash. Call Joe to find out more about this phenomenal program. Not only that, working with Joe doesn't obligate you to anything. If he isn't doing his job, he will let you out of your contract free and clear. But don't worry, that's never going to happen because Joe sells homes quickly and for top dollar. Call Joe Manassa today at 850-888-0888. That's 850-888-0888. Or online at manassa.com. That's MANAUSA.com. And start packing.
Seminole Headlines, presented by Capital City Bank.
You're damn right.
Catch Jeff Corey and Ira each Tuesday night from 5 to 7 p.m. right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Fire up the grills for another season of Seminole football.
2nd and 3, patient, then explosive, and a touchdown for the Noles.
It's Tallahassee Game Day, your ESPN Tallahassee pregame show, featuring Jeff Cameron and Tom Lang.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
TNT Supercenter is your one-stop shop for the largest inventory of golf carts and accessories, stocking over 150 new and pre-owned carts with prices starting under $2,000. Whether you're looking for a standard or custom golf cart, TNT has the perfect cart for you. TNT carries and services leading brands and the full line of premium Mad Jacks accessories. Stop by or call to find out about our zero-down, low-interest rate financing, free delivery, and rental programs. Visit TNTSupercenter.com.
TNT. I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough, I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men on a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
That's promo code JCS20. You're saving 20% on your first order. That's EasyLaundry.net from Wash Around the Clock.
Tallahassee is a diverse community with residents experiencing the world in different ways. But we are a community that sticks together. For 3 years, events like the Longest Table have provided spaces for us to come together and learn about what unites us instead of what keeps us apart. Now is the time for us to continue these important conversations. So let's keep talking Tallahassee. We want you to reserve your seat today.
For more information and to register, visit longesttable.com.
Football season is in full swing, and so is AAA One Transmission. AAA One Transmission is locally owned and operated by Tim Pridgett, who's been servicing the Tallahassee area for over 37 years. Brakes, transmissions, electrical systems, tune-ups, and battery checks. No matter what ails your vehicle, AAA One Transmission can make your automobile healthy again. Don't put off your auto repairs. Stop it at 1023 North Monroe Street or call them at 222-2532.
Beef O'Brady's 2 for $20. The only hard part is choosing. First, pick a starter to share. Then pick 2 entrees like grilled shrimp and a steak bowl. All for $20. Beef O'Brady's, where 2 for $20 gets you plenty.
You're listening to The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
This would be the time of day where I tell you about the goodness that is Easy Laundry, wash around the clock, and the service that I'm signed up for, that Tom Lang is signed up for. I will be getting my Easy Laundry service tomorrow. They'll drop it off. Cue it up, good sir.
Jeff, what's your plan with all of this laundry?
Not my job.
Excuse me, get off the couch already.
Wash around the clock's got it. More watching, less washing.
Ooh. Best husband ever.
Locally owned and operated, family owned, and they do a great job. Sign up for the Easy Laundry service. You just click on the website. It's very simple. Go to TallahasseeLaundry.com, brought to you by Wash Around the Clock. It's a pickup delivery service at your home or your office. Ultimate convenience, I'd say, and laundry, dry cleaning. They even do pressing. Here's the deal. We don't do laundry in our house anymore, and we save a lot of time. It's about the time. I mean, we lead busy lives. All of us do. And if you're, even if you don't have a family, you're busy. I got you. I got 2 little kids. And if you're like me in that situation, you feel like all you're doing is laundry. So, I started talking to Dan and started talking to the fine folks at Wash Around the Clock. And they said, try the service, see if it's something that would be mutually beneficial for all of us. And I did. And then I turned Tom onto it, and he loves it. And now I don't know what the hell we were doing all those years. So sign up for Easy Laundry. It's easy, it's affordable, and it's time-saving, big time.
I'm glad that we have this segment today because I have a giant red bag of laundry in my trunk that I forgot to bring into the office with me for tomorrow morning's pickup.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cool thing is you get the notifications first thing in the morning on your email.
They're like, hey, loser, don't forget to get your stuff. But they don't put that on there.
That's how I read it because I agree. But they're awesome. And I'm a Friday, Tuesday guy. You're a Tuesday, Friday guy. Drop it off, pick it up.
Yep, that's the way I roll. I'll be getting all my clothes for the weekend. Snazzy.
I get mine to start the week.
I got it. Whatever floats your boat, buddy.
That's right.
That's right. Whatever is most convenient. That's what we're getting at. All right, so more watching, less washing is what we're talking about. And the slate, well, it's okay. I mean, I'll watch Penn State, Michigan State. It should be noted that Mr. Franklin has never won a road game against a ranked team in the history of his coaching career. That is rather remarkable. So he gets a gimme. He gets a gift from the football gods. Here's Michigan State, ranked 24th. Okay, go on the road and get your first ranked road win, buddy. Auburn and Texas A&M intrigues me as a bettor. I'm fascinated by this game.
Might be a pick of yours on the Man Cave show tonight.
Yeah, but I actually don't like the direction I went with it. I changed my mind.
Going the other way.
I'm going to go the other way.
Well, the graphics already been made, man.
I'm just going to say it when the graphics up. Don't believe that.
What changed your mind?
Watching. Well, this will be the best defense that Texas A&M has faced all year long. So I started thinking about that, and I went, I don't like this.
I'm not going to touch that game, then. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You've been good on your locks.
I have been. South Carolina, Georgia, take the under. I won't watch that game. It's not going to be a very high-scoring game.
That 24 number is Georgia could take this one off and win.
They probably will.
24-3.
Mm-hmm. Take the under in that game. Don't bet it if you don't have to. Clemson, NC State's 3:30. Okay, you got me. I'm in. I'm going to watch that.
Now, we have the same list here. I think a sneaky good game is the one you skipped over. Wake Forest and Notre Dame is a sneaky good game.
Well, it was a game I wanted to wager because I'm a degenerate gambler, and I had really paid attention to that game because I thought that would be a look ahead because Notre Dame's got Miami the following week, and I thought, okay, so here's your problem. Notre Dame can win the game and go through the motions, but that won't be a cover. But I thought we'd be getting like 20 points or 17 and a half. Just depending on when you got it, you get it for less than 2 touchdowns. No, I'm not.
Exactly.
I'm not doing that.
That's why Vegas sees it because they're just coming off the NC State win too.
Yeah.
Wake Forest feeling really good about itself on the road. I'm sure they prepped for this game. It's just a sneaky good game, one to keep an eye on.
Not touching it. A good game is Iowa State and West Virginia, and I'm going to take West Virginia to tell Iowa State, nice little run you had there. That's the end of that. And that game's at 3:30. Bedlam's always fun. Oklahoma State. A lot of watching. No washing. A lot of watching. All that.
Middle slate's good again this weekend.
Yeah. Even 7:15 is kind of interesting with Texas and TCU. Let's see if Herman's crew can keep it close.
What in the world's going on there? I guess Vegas believes they will keep it close. The number's been under a touchdown for most of the week.
6.5.
Curious.
I'm taking TCU.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
I think they'll be pissed off. They also turned it over in the red zone last week, which is why they lost to Iowa State. Virginia Tech, Miami, 8 o'clock prime time, and Southern Cal and Arizona is a sneaky good game at 10:45 if you're staying up late. So there's all the watching and none of the washing from our friends at Wash Around the Clock and Easy Laundry. Go to the website again, TallahasseeLaundry.com, and find out what it is I'm talking about, which is a whole lot of not washing. Yay. They also have drop-off services. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
life.com/FAQ. CenturyLink, your link to what's next.
Sports are defined by stats and performance, but here's a performance stat that no one wants to talk about. Erectile dysfunction affects half of all men over 40. That's 50%. If you're struggling with ED and other therapies haven't worked, isn't it time to feel like yourself again? Learn about a long-lasting ED solution from Coloplast to get you back in the game. Visit Dr. DeLay at Advanced Urology Institute, located at 2000 Centerpoint Boulevard, or call their office and set up an appointment today. 833-4-DRDELAY. That's 833, the number 4, Dr. DeLay. The sooner you seek treatment, the sooner you can get back to feeling like your normal self. That's 833, the number 4, Dr. DeLay.
Can't decide between fresh steak, seafood, or wings? Well, Miller's Ale House on Appalachia Parkway has it all. From center-cut sirloin and original pastas to fresh salads and favorites like Miller's Signature Zingers, tossed in your favorite sauce. Miller's Ale House has a full...
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
TNT Supercenter is your one-stop shop for the largest inventory of golf carts and accessories, stocking over 150 new and pre-owned carts with prices starting under $2,000. Whether you're looking for a standard or custom golf cart, TNT has the perfect cart for you. TNT carries and services leading brands and a full line of premium Mad Jacks accessories. Stop by or call to find out about our zero-down, low-interest rate financing, free delivery, and rental programs. Visit TNTSupercenter.com.
TNT. I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck, always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Added value to our customers for doing business with us. So when you're ready to buy from Kraft Nissan, the home of our original and the only real lifetime warranty at no charge. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco.
Oh no! My lunch has been ravaged by ants.
Go to Bandito's Burritos.
See, very intrigued by the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
That was a thrill ride I was just on. I'm unhappy to be off it. You guys can't picture me, right? Like doing the wave on a roller coaster as it goes downhill, right? You can't picture me like going, woo!
No, we cannot. I can't picture you on a roller coaster.
Right.
Have you ever been on one?
My life has never been one of those. My life is a very steady trolley. Very secure, very responsible. It is getting there on time, though. It doesn't make any noises other than creak. It goes very slowly, but it's gathering steam, baby. I got some fuel in the woods. Now I am gathering steam and headed downhill. Choo-choo, baby.
The Dan Le Batard Show, weekdays at 10 a.m. on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. Going back to training camp, and even earlier there had been speculation, and now it's official. Colts quarterback Andrew Luck will miss the entire season after shoulder surgery back in January. The team will put Luck on injured reserve. He tells Colts.com that he's very optimistic about his future. The Colts are 2-6 this season. Another setback for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Forward Tristan Thompson will probably be out 3 to 4 weeks with a strained left calf. The Cavaliers have lost 4 in a row. They'll play the Wizards tomorrow night at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Angels outfielder Justin Upton will stay in Anaheim. He gets a new 5-year contract, adding a year in exchange for not opting out of his old deal, which he could have done by Saturday. The new contract is 5 years, $106 million. For the 12th time, the University of Connecticut is the preseason #1 team in women's college basketball, this time unanimously getting all 32 votes. Texas is ranked second, Baylor third.
It's official. Weekends are now reserved for football. So come watch it at B-Dubs with other fans who are all there for the same reason, to watch sports. In a place packed with roaring fans and a vast menu of food. It's built for fans. It's home for football. It's Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Redemption Thursday on the Jeff Cameron Show is brought to you by Frank's Auto World on West Tennessee Street, ranked by Car Gurus as the best used car dealer in Tallahassee. Check out the best selection of pre-owned vehicles in Tallahassee at franksautowworld.com.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. By the way, at Jay Cameron Show, writes Travis. Been shaving the dome for several years. Ignore Tom. Go with a driving cap. Black, gray, herringbone tweed. Okay. Well, I'm going to try them all. We'll try them all, baby. I had a hat on earlier, a little beanie soccer thing.
All I said is if you get the scruff going, then it really drives home the look. That's all I said.
I could. There is no bad suggestion. Some that I won't take, some that I will. That's how that'll work.
Oh, man.
I'm not saying yours. I'm just saying anybody's. Like, that's fine. Whatever suggestion you want to make.
But that sounds like the 4th or 5th grade suggestion box. You know? Did you ever have a suggestion box in any of your classes?
No. Never. No, that wasn't incorporated by the
closed-minded educational system.
When I was a kid, no, we didn't have that. You were just going to do it this way. That's how that worked.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I didn't, I mean, most of the teachers I had weren't tyrants. Mr. Fechner's dead by now, so he was the one that when I think I was in third grade, maybe even younger, second grade. He's the one that my parents pulled me out of the school because of him.
Really?
Yeah. He said some crazy things, like really crazy things. If your parents danced, they were going to hell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
One of those.
That was the end of that. Public education from that point forward. We're the hell up out of here.
Oh, it was a private school.
Well, it was Grace Lutheran, and before that, St. Pete Christian. So then we got pulled out of there. So
strike one, strike two,
yeah,
public school.
We're done. That's the end of this.
See, the purpose of the suggestion box when I was growing up was if you're afraid and embarrassed to tell the teacher that you don't understand something.
Oh, that's a good one.
So then you throw a little note in the suggestion box and say, can we go over this?
But the problem is, at that point, anybody that sees you drop something in the suggestion box goes, so you're not getting it, are you?
Well, not even. What they would do is, everybody leaves, and it's like, I'm going to stay behind. I need to ask her a question real quick,
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody's like, He's dropping something in the suggestion box. He's not asking any questions.
He doesn't know what the hell
She's
we're
leaving
doing.
the classroom with us. What's he still doing here?
Oh,
going
those
to
are
suggestions.
several suggestions.
We have a suggestion. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's from Tony.
Tony, who doesn't understand how to carry.
That's how it is. It's brutal.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah.
It's really wrong, by the way.
Yeah.
It's terrible. And you get it when you have perspective and you've lived a little, how petty that is. But the kids that aren't as fast.
But the thing is, I don't think kids, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe I've forgotten, I don't think we're as self-conscious at that age as we are once we get to middle school. It gets
middle school's ruthless, yeah.
That's where you do your growing, man.
And it's still really ridiculous, and now I can sense it, too. I can see the sort of petty things that kids get on each other about, and I think, man, really? You guys are arguing over that? Believe me, this is all going to change radically in about 10 years. You're not going to think the way you think now. You're not going to believe any of this stuff. Would you stop that?
They can't comprehend that.
No,
so,
I know. That's the age-old battle between, having lived a little and experienced things and recognizing the mistakes of youth. And
you've often voiced being uneasy about the awkward stage, and your boys are heading towards the awkward stage.
Oh, yeah, without question.
You handling it okay? Have you seen
fine.
any signs yet?
Oh, they both look goofy. No, but they're beautiful, and so, no, they're fine. I mean, no, I see... awkward stage could be code for other things, and yeah.
Oh, I don't even mean that.
No. What I'm saying is that, and every parent listening knows this. I mean, it's got to be terrible when your kids are going through puberty. It just does. Because it's awkward for everybody. The kid, the parent, everybody involved. Everybody knows what's going on. It's weird.
A lot of, Jesus moments,
Yeah,
like, hey, what are we doing?
Yeah, whoa. No, I did have to have the conversation.
Already?
Well, yeah.
Really?
Well, yeah, because one of them's turning 10. I mean...
fourth grade was...
Yeah. The conversation is weird. I had to have it.
I already knew it. I don't know how.
Well, you have an idea. You start to suspect. Kids say things. You hear some things. You can kind of pick up some vibes when you see people hugging and stuff. But the point is,
I wasn't informed by my friends. I don't know how I knew it. But I just, maybe film and television, I don't know. But I already kind of knew what the drill was. And it was the shortest conversation. My dad goes, all right, so,
here's the deal.
And my dad's so awkward about these things. I mean, really awkward. So he's like, all right, the birds and the bees, we got to sit down.
Yeah.
Dad, I know. He goes, you do?
All right.
You sure? I was like, yeah, I know.
All right, good. Let's go.
You want to go to the driving range? Let's go to the driving range.
No. As a little kid, I was told that I said, hey, Mom, I was getting out of the bathtub. I was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
She's drying my hair. I go, hey, I know what I do with this thing. I pee. What are these for? And that's how I learned.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
That I was just trying. I went, I know what I do with this. What are these things for?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And your mom said, well,
okay. All right. I guess we'll do this.
What's slightly disturbing yet funny and amazing all at the same time is I can hear your mom talking about debating over the Colts and the Niners or something.
Yeah,
but then now I hear her
doing
say,
that.
well, okay, honey.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. Like, ugh. That's just unfortunate for every parent.
Yeah, but you got to do it. It's the right thing to do. By the way,
Son, here's the Spice Channel.
No, that's not what you do. And in today's day and age, there's a good chance your kids will
With the
run into
internet,
that. Yeah, it's the scariest thing in the world. At Jay Cameron Show, I wonder, is there anything to be learned by the Bucks from this Andrew Luck situation? Somebody needs to be a grown-up. Hashtag a-hole. Yeah.
Hashtag a-hole.
Yeah, no, this Sunday this is it. And I would like to believe that certainly Tampa Bay has inquired. I know some things about that situation. I do know that Jameis is and his family are being careful, as one should be. His agent and others are saying, now let's be sure we can't do any permanent damage here. Let's be sure we're not going to take this the wrong way.
So they vetted it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and they're talking to doctors along with the team doctors. And I think the Bucks, I mean, look, Jason Light and that organization as a whole, they know what they have in Jameis. Dirk, the situation is weird because he's in a position where he's got to win football games.
So did Jason Light. He doesn't have a contract after this year.
Yeah, that's true. So I get worried about that. When my coach is potentially on the hot seat and got to win games, and my GM doesn't have a contract beyond this year, and they know that when Jameis plays anywhere close to his potential, that he's infinitely better than Fitzpatrick, that they'd be tempted to maybe ignore some of the warning signs of the injury and maybe – But I would like to believe not. I just worry about it.
May I posit this, though? Wouldn't it be more beneficial to a coach and or a GM to say he's been playing hurt all along and we're going to have to shut it down? Don't you get a free pass for that if the offense is the reason?
I completely agree. And if I were Dirk Cutter, I would utilize that get-out-of-jail-free card right now. And if I were Winston, who's always going to play, remember the high ankle sprain he had here. He was told that he was going to miss 3 games. He missed none. Didn't miss a play. These guys are tough, man, and he is a tough competitor. He's going to say, well, if I can't do any more damage to it throwing it, and I may need surgery either way, until we're out of it, I'm playing. Well, all right, now you're going to define your terms. When are you out of it? I could argue you're out of it right now. The Bucks and you would argue, nah, if we win this game and get to 3-5 with the Jets and Dolphins on the horizon, what's to say we couldn't get this back to 5-5, at which point you're fighting for a wild card?
This is a team that won 5 straight last year. You know, it's possible.
It is possible, and but again, is that possible with an injury to the star quarterback?
It just depends on how serious it is. I mean, if he needed surgery, I'd shut him down yesterday. If you need surgery, if you have to have surgery.
Right. I think surgery is an option right now, but it's not. He can't do any more extensive damage to than what's already there. He's dealing with pain and swelling right now. He has pain and swelling, and there are inhibitors to that. He can't make certain throws because of the swelling. Touch throws are very difficult, and obviously the deep ball. So when you're running 9 routes trying to ask a guy to throw the ball 50 yards, not happening. So you are seriously limited at that point. And this is a vicious league, and they get it. They're going to notice the kinds of play calls and patterns and say, wait a minute. So there's a rumor he's hurt, and they're not throwing the ball down the field. We're going to sit on everything 25 and under, and life gets a lot more difficult. Interceptions go up.
That's why I got to call that toss pass.
It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
TNT Supercenter is your one-stop shop for the largest inventory of golf carts and accessories, stocking over 150 new and pre-owned carts with prices starting under $2,000. Whether you're looking for a standard or custom golf cart, TNT has the perfect cart for you. TNT carries and services leading brands and the full line of premium Mad Jacks accessories. Stop by or call to find out about our zero-down, low-interest rate financing, free delivery, and rental programs. Visit TNTSupercenter.com.
TNT. I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men on a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Laundry.net, or you can give them a call, 850-597-9007. Again, sign up today at easylaundry.net. Oh, and by the way, I got you. Use promo code JCS20 and save 20%. That's promo code JCS20. You're saving 20% on your first order. That's easylaundry.net from Wash Around the Clock.
Sports are defined by stats and performance, but here's a performance stat that no one wants to talk about. Erectile dysfunction affects half of all men over 40. That's 50%. If you're struggling with ED and other therapies haven't worked, isn't it time to feel like yourself again? Learn about a long-lasting ED solution from Coloplast to get you back in the game. Visit Dr. DeLay at Advanced Urology Institute, located at 2000 Centerpoint Boulevard, or call their office and set up an appointment today. 833-4DRDELAY. That's 833-4, Dr. DeLay. The sooner you seek treatment, the sooner you can get back to feeling like your normal self. That's 833-4, Dr. DeLay.
Tallahassee is a diverse community with residents experiencing the world in different ways. But we are a community that sticks together. For 3 years, events like the Longest Table have provided spaces for us to come together and learn about what unites us instead of what keeps us apart. Now is the time for us to continue these important conversations, so let's keep talking Tallahassee. We want you to reserve your seat today.
For more information and to register, visit longesttable.com.
Beef O'Brady's 2 for $20. The only hard part is choosing. First, pick a starter to share. Then pick 2 entrees like grilled shrimp and a steak bowl. All for $20. Beef O'Brady's, where 2 for $20 gets you plenty.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Well, replacements is always good for you on a Thursday. It's a motto. Should note here that it would be just past Beer 30. We're going to utilize this opportunity to promote Beer 30. Let's do some Beer 30.
Count 'em up, pour 'em out.
I'll just have a cup of coffee.
There it is. It's Beer 30, brought to you by the 7th Hill Tap Room on Appalachia Parkway.
All right. Loving the 7th Hill Tap Room. Join us at the 7th Hill Tap Room for this week's Specialty Tapping Saturday. It's Founders, by the way. Founders, good stuff. Founders Brewing. Founders Brewing Backwoods Bastard. Yes, a sought-after high ABV beer, so be careful. Comes out every year. It's one you don't want to miss. Checks in at 11.2. Hey, now. But it's smooth. It has warmth on a chilly day. Expect lovely, warm smells of single malt scotch, which Tom and I rather enjoy.
Yes, we do.
Oaky bourbon barrels. A lot of people like that. Smoke. Yeah. Sweet caramel. Yes. Roasted malts. All right. a bit of an earthy spice and scintilla of dark fruit.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Like a black cherry or
There's
something.
a lot going on here.
There it is. It's going to overwhelm your taste buds. It's like eating Indian food. It's a kickback sipper made to excite the palate. So that looks good. Yay, 7th Hill.
Also on tap, us tomorrow. We'll be there at the 7th Hill Tap Room from 3 to 6 p.m. Opens at 4, though.
That's true. And that's exciting. I like it. Yeah, they open at 4, and, this is going to be tough. I'm wondering, how much can we talk about the Syracuse game?
Well, that's why we need, come on up, have a happy hour crowd. Let's just have a happy hour
Just everybody
crowd.
hanging out.
You know what's better? When times get bad, it's better to
Sharing
be around
some times
people.
together to laugh and talk and work through it.
That's right. We can do it.
The World Series, of which I'll mention again here at the top of the hour and kind of highlight the stories of the day, which the Astros won. It was a baseball season that featured an awful lot of records with baseballs flying out of the park. And the World Series turned out not to be different. 14 players combined to hit 25 home runs over the 7-game series, including 7 of those home runs happening in Game 5. First game, by the way, 3. First Game 7 where both starters failed to go 3 innings. 4. These are records. Hit by pitches by Astros starter Lance McCullers in Game 7. 4 consecutive games with a home run by series MVP George Springer. 5 home runs by Springer, tying Reggie Jackson in 1977 and Chase Utley in 2009. 14 players who hit at least 1 home run. Wow. And a nightmarish World Series for Cody Bellinger. 17 strikeouts, all on breaking balls. Think they figured out Cody Bellinger? Can't hit a breaking ball, huh, Cody?
I thought Lucas Duda was bad.
Got to throw it again. Let's see if you can hit this one. The answer was no. 17 Ks by him. Record. 25 total home runs hit between the two clubs. Also a record. 29 total bases by Springer, which includes 8 extra base hits. Also a record.
A couple of things I saw with Chase Utley last night. Apparently, he led the team in the it was like the whole rousing Game 7 speech. He was the one that got the Dodgers together and said, "We can do this. We're the better team."
Right.
And they didn't. And he also struck out in the 9th inning. Just unfortunate for Chase, who's
well. I know you were closely monitoring just to see if
good
the
guy.
impact of.
He's a good guy.
I think he probably is. He just took out your boy, and I know that you'll never forgive it.
Never. Ridiculous. And they even brought it up on the broadcast 2 nights ago.
Did they really?
Well, because they might have gotten a second base interference play. And Utley was the one that was turning the double play. And Joe Buck said, well, the irony would be if Chase Utley benefited from the Chase Utley rule. And then Smoltz said, yeah. And the way John Smoltz said it is, I think he agrees with me.
Oh, I don't think there's anybody that thought it was okay. Then again, his teammates probably appreciated it. But, yeah, I mean.
Ruben Tejada's leg didn't appreciate it. He had to come out with a cane for the World Series. Boy, this is why I love hockey.
I do.
That
like
would have been dealt with swiftly.
Yes, that would have been
swiftly dealt with.
I do like that you broke out the cane because that really does engender sympathy. Nothing does like a cane. If somebody has to use a cane, they're so injured, you're like, well, the man is using a cane. Sweet. I mean, sweet Jesus. He's relatively young and he's got to use a cane. That is devastating. I'm serious. Like, if you see an 85-year-old man struggling, dressed to the nines, he's got a cane, you're like, oh, bless his heart.
Yeah, immediately.
Immediately.
It's actually,
yes.
It's impervious to cynicism, isn't it?
You're like, oh, sweet old man. Poor guy still out there trying to get it.
Especially
using his cane.
If it's the one with, like,
shuffling.
It's got the 4 legs on the bottom.
No, I want a classic wooden, like a hook cane.
Shillelagh almost?
Yeah, I want you out there leaning on your walking stick, just trying to get by. When you broke that out just now, I couldn't help but crack up. Like, he had to come out with a cane in the woods.
He did, and it was a Mets cane. It just said Mets all over it. It was the most tacky-looking cane you could ever imagine.
Cane. By the way, Yasiel Puig got his home robbed during Game 7. They knew he wasn't there.
Really?
Yeah. Somebody broke into his home while he was at Dodger Stadium during Game 7. A window was found smashed. Items were taken from his San Fernando Valley home. They don't know the value yet of the stolen items. But that's not the first time he's been robbed. He's got to get a better security system. In March, roughly $170,000 worth of jewelry was stolen from his home. Now, Yasiel, let me ask you. You think it's a wise idea to have $170,000 worth of jewelry in your house? Come on, man. That's like instant karma. That's the universe going, hey, a-hole.
I guess. But
why are you buying $170,000 worth of jewelry?
Man, he has no idea about societal norms here in the U.S. He's still getting used to it.
Well, he's getting used to getting his ass robbed is what he's getting used to.
He went from getting,
I understand.
imported
he comes
across
from
the line with a cartel to millions of dollars.
Don't get me wrong. I understand that it's a hell of a thing to fall into and to come from nothing, suddenly have something. People don't always make wise decisions. That's across the board in any walk of life. I got you. But the first time I get robbed to the tune of $170,000 because I'm buying diamonds and necklaces and other dumbass things that I don't need, I'm not leaving that in my house. I'm going to do some things differently.
Or I'm just hiring a guy who has an MG42, and there he is, stationed on my front lawn.
What's an MG42?
That's the German machine gun from World War II.
I didn't know what that was. I was like, who's got it?
Interesting note I learned about that.
The MG42
when I was in Halifax, the Germans are considered to be, beyond precise, like marksmen and things like that. They learned it from the British. How about that?
Yeah.
Use of machine guns. The British brought it overseas, and Kaiser Wilhelm said, well, I like this. A latter part of the 19th century. He said, well, this is great stuff. I want to see more of this stuff. And that's what they developed into their World War II killer.
Really thought you were about to say Kaiser Sose, and that would have been even cooler.
Well, unfortunate these days.
Kaiser Sose, which, by the way, that story keeps getting really twisted and sad and frustrating because I like that dude. And, man,
K-Pax can get the hell out of here.
What are we doing here? I want to believe none of that's true.
K-piece of crap.
It sounds like it. Final hour forthcoming. There are some people who have no idea what we're talking about. That's okay. We'll get it together. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
TNT Supercenter is your one-stop shop for the largest inventory of golf carts and accessories, stocking over 150 new and pre-owned carts with prices starting under $2,000. Whether you're looking for a standard or custom golf cart, TNT has the perfect cart for you. TNT carries and services leading brands and the full line of premium Mad Jacks accessories. Stop by or call to find out about our zero-down, low-interest rate financing, free delivery, and rental programs. Visit TNTSupercenter.com.
TNT. I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Service Advisor. Sign the advisor's iPad and have a seat in our waiting room. A team of 2 lube technicians will immediately take your car directly to service and complete the oil change. And remember, Kraft Nissan services all makes and models. We sell tires for less. Compare us to the box stores and compare us to the tire stores. We'll beat their price. Plus, new tires come with free rotations for the life of the tires. We also have our Value Advantage line of parts that are priced to compete with aftermarket and parts stores, but still have full Nissan factory warranty. So competitively priced that Kraft Nissan will give you a 30-day price match money-match guarantee in writing. And we offer the Kraft Nissan Service Card, same as cash for 6 months on purchases over $299.
So give us a try. Oil changes in 45 minutes or less and no appointment necessary. Just stop by.
Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. Service card with approved credit.
Broadcasting live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. Going back to training camp, and even earlier there had been speculation, and now it's official. Colts quarterback Andrew Luck will miss the entire season after shoulder surgery back in January. The team will put Luck on injured reserve. He tells Colts.com that he's very optimistic about his future. The Colts are 2-6 this season. Another setback for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Forward Tristan Thompson will probably be out 3 to 4 weeks with a strained left calf. The Cavaliers have lost 4 in a row. They'll play the Wizards tomorrow night at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Angels outfielder Justin Upton will stay in Anaheim. He gets a new 5-year contract, adding a year in exchange for not opting out of his old deal, which he could have done by Saturday. The new contract is 5 years, $106 million. For the 12th time, the University of Connecticut is the preseason #1 team in women's college basketball, this time unanimously getting all 32 votes. Texas is ranked second, Baylor third.
It's official. Weekends are now reserved for football. So come watch it at B-Dubs with other fans who are all there for the same reason, to watch sports. In a place packed with roaring fans and a vast menu of food. It's built for fans. It's home for football. It's Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Redemption Thursday on the Jeff Cameron Show is brought to you by Frank's Auto World on West Tennessee Street, ranked by Car Gurus as the best used car dealer in Tallahassee. Check out the best selection of pre-owned vehicles in Tallahassee at franksautoworld.com.
Final hour of the Jeff Cameron Show, at least for today. Thanks for tuning to it, and a fine Redemption Thursday to you and yours. I'm Jeff, that's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free always. Don't miss anything. If you do miss something, remember this, all 3 hours are going to be posted both on iTunes and in our own audio vault. Woohoo! Email the show if you like, jcs at 979ESPNradio.com. A lot of great emails these days. Twitter, it's at Jay Cameron Show. WTSM app for your mobile devices. We're on YouTube. You can watch us on YouTube. Just type in ESPN Tallahassee. Really cool to see the city of Houston get a much-needed lift from a franchise that's never won a World Series until last night. The Astros do beat the Dodgers 5-1. And, you know, it's weird. One thing I'll say is watching Charlie Morton dominate and really be the guy in this game besides Springer offensively. I was so torn, Tom, because on the one hand, just jealousy and anger and frustration. Charlie Morton, folks, if you don't know, pitched in Pittsburgh forever and was pretty average at best. He was a 3 or a 4. Nothing to write home about. You never got excited when Charlie Morton pitched. You never thought in your life that Charlie Morton would be painting corners throwing 98 for the Houston Astros in a decisive Game 7 to carry them home to their first title. That was not on the docket. That's not something anybody could have thought. Probably not even Charlie Morton or anybody in his family or anybody that cares deeply about Charlie Morton could think that was possible. And then there he was. And so on the one hand, I was kind of bitter, like, oh, well, so you're that now. And you were never that in Pittsburgh, ever. And then on the other hand, I thought, good for you. For all those years you were in Pittsburgh just being average on bad teams, good for you, Charlie Morton. I don't always get to where I can, if it's a former, like If Justin Turner had hit 3 home runs for the Dodgers to compel them to victory in a Game 7, would you have been happy for him?
At this point, enough time has passed, yes.
Yes, yeah.
And we had played him head-to-head in the 2015 DS,
Right.
and Murphy out-Turner.
Right.
Now, if Murphy did for the Nationals,
Yeah.
different story. Completely different story. I'd be angry, and
Not even at him.
And not at the organization. Because he came out of nowhere and
To do that.
That doesn't look sustainable when he does it in a playoff run. You're like, well, he's not going to hit 30 ever again. And apparently there's a renaissance that happened in his freaking career.
Well, and that's the same with Charlie Morton. I'm like, oh, he just threw 98. That'll never happen again until he throws 99 on the next pitch. I'm like, what are we doing here?
A syringe-a-sance. Yeah.
Well, good for him, though, whatever. I mean, at this point. But back to the Astros, which are the story.
I'm glad they let him finish the game. I saw Keuchel warming up in
I was
the
like,
eighth. I
no,
go, don't do that.
Your guy is rolling.
Yeah.
This was an easy decision. And both these managers managed this series in a weird way, a panic-stricken way. And yet, they didn't when they needed to most, meaning Roberts looking at you, Darvish, throwing a slider that's not moving, sitting about belt high. He has a, 12-15 pitch at bat to get the third out in the first inning. He's clearly got nothing. He's got to go. He cannot be out. This is it. You don't have tomorrow. You get his ass out.
Well, and again, okay, so his body language before the game even starts isn't great.
It's not good.
He's taking the mound, and he looks very much like he realizes where he is and in the situation he's in, which that's not ever a good thing. And so I take to Twitter, not to tweet, but to look and see what anybody who's – and Buster Olney, sure enough, I pull it up. He bounced one to the backstop in his warm-up pitches. Man, you can't have that.
Well,
you can't have that. If the body language is that poor, and then you see what his repertoire is through a batter or two.
Well, obviously, he was terrible in his first start of this series, too. And so one thing that you know is you could just chalk that up to not having stuff on a particular night. Or you could monitor very closely that the moment's too big for this guy. Because clearly he's a better pitcher than that. He has been for the Dodgers. He was that for Texas before. Now, he had some downswings as well. He's battled injuries off and on his whole career. When he's right, he's a strikeout machine. And he throws a ton of pitches for strikes. But you have an inkling, you have advanced knowledge based on his last start that maybe the stage is too much for this guy. He's never been in this position. It affected him last time. So now you're watching everything. You're watching warm-ups. You're watching that first at-bat. That double, you go, we got a problem. And then he's keeping balls up. He should have been made to pay way worse than he was in the first inning. Now, I know he's not helped out by the air, but, you have the whole situation where they're hitting him hard, and some of those foul balls straight back, tattooed, and I'm going, okay, I'm making a change. Because there just isn't tomorrow. He can't work his way through it.
No, there's no doubt. And we say this often when we watch Florida State baseball in the postseason in a do-or-die regional, super regional game, whatever it is. You got to have somebody warming right away.
Yeah, it's almost comical, right?
You can't worry about feelings. You can't. You've got no time to worry about feelings. And in fact, I heard last night as I was driving home, our pregame coverage on ESPN Radio of Game 7, and it's Chris Singleton talking to Dave Roberts. And he's asking him about Yu Darvish and what do you expect tonight? And he said the same thing that he said to Verducci when they did the pregame right there before the first pitch, which was expect to see a lot of that slider tonight. Okay, so if the slider is going to be the primary course and the primary weapon, and you're seeing that thing hang at 83, that's got to be it because you already knew the scouting report.
He didn't have an out pitch, and you knew that, and anybody can hit a fastball if they can just spit on the slider. So there was no you're in deep trouble, yeah.
Or they don't spit on it, they
or tattoo it.
They tattoo it.
The Astros had played 55 years before their first World Series title arrived last night. Well, they earned last night. That's the third most in World Series history in the World Series era, if you will. The Phillies had the longest by a lot. They played 77 years before they finally won one in 1980. The Orioles had played 63 seasons without winning one. They did so in 1966. And now the Astros, 55 years, winning this year in 2017. Third straight season a team snapped a World Series drought of at least 29 years, by the way. That's pretty interesting.
The hard part is, too, that this was a very Florida State baseball-esque loss for the Dodgers because how many times do they have runners on? First and second one out, first and second nobody out, and they don't get the big one. They just don't get the big knock when they need it. And this series had been so littered with big hits with facing deficits that you expected there's going to be an inning. One of these innings, they're going to break through, get this game to 5-3, 5-4, crowds going nuts, and it just, it never came.
No, good pitching, good defense. It worked out. The Astros, Charlie Morton came in, and that was the end of that. I mean, at the end of the day, he just really made big pitches when he had to make them. I thought it was appropriate that the ball went to Altuve at the end. He's so representative of an organization that got it right by building through drafting and developing really good players, homegrown. Altuve was first brought in by the Astros when he was 16, 17 years old and suffered through miserable seasons. They lost 100 games as recently as 2013, folks. They're the fourth team to go from 100 losses to a World Series title within 5 seasons in the history of baseball.
Wow.
So it's remarkable, but it's what happens when you build with the right guys. I mean, today, the topic and the conversation is an interesting one because it centers around collectors coveting that Sports Illustrated. Now, if you guys don't know this, go online and type in 2014 Sports Illustrated cover. It'll immediately take you to one of 1,000 stories about the Houston Astros. But Sports Illustrated put the Houston Astros on their cover in 2014 that said, "Your 2017 World Series champion." And it's a picture of a very young George Springer swinging. And now everybody wants that Sports Illustrated because, of course, it happened. They predicted it correctly. But the reason they predicted it correctly was because they were amassing all this young, dynamic talent that was green. They needed to add a little pitching, some other things. But they knew that was a worthwhile prediction and that this team was developing young talent.
It's been said before, but I think the St. Louis Cardinals executive knew exactly what he was doing. He was copying a winning organization.
Yeah, they got it right. I mean, with Correa and obviously Springer. And
should be a footnote, too. You're talking about what Roberts didn't do with Darvish, but at least, Hinch in the third inning did. He said, all right, enough of this. Even after an out, he gets a strikeout.
Yeah.
After it's first and second, nobody out. And he's like, all right, now let's bring in Peacock.
What am I doing here?
Yeah.
Peacock pitched well, too. That prediction cover, the Astros one that I just mentioned, 2017 collector's item now. Over the past 2 days, full copies of the magazine published June 30th, 2014 have sold on eBay auction for as much as over $1,000 each. So you're collecting Sports Illustrated just because you're one of these weird dudes who collect Sports Illustrated. I was when I was a kid, but people don't collect magazines anymore.
Maybe you see it on the barbershop coffee table.
I'm taking this with me. But it's sold for $1,000 or more. Over the last 2 days, the average price of that particular Sports Illustrated edition that is on eBay now is over $300. I mean, wow. The issue not only predicted that the Astros would win the title, but they also picked that George Springer, who won the World Series MVP, they said he'd do that, and they put him on the cover. I mean, that's getting it right in a weird way.
You have to celebrate when you get it right because the prediction game is stupid hard.
A dicey deal. Sports Illustrated does not reprint its current issues, but does sell 11x14 reprints of covers that you can buy, including that cover for $19.95 if you're interested. Fanatics is selling a print which is signed by Springer for $230. So who are these people that paid for $1,000? I mean, what is? I'm getting an autographed one with Springer for $230.
Yeah, Saps. That's who they are. You can get the actual cover remade for you for $20. I don't need the autograph.
No, I mean,
I'll forge it.
Yeah, that's nuts. Good for them, though. The Cubs, by the way, 2012 lost 100 games and then won the World Series in 2016. So you've had two teams in back-to-back years have that same statistic attached to them. The Mets in 1967 lost over 100 games, and in 1969, we all know the famed World Series run.
The Miracle Mets.
Yeah, and the Braves in 1912, and then in 1914 won it all.
Oh, wow.
2 years later, yeah.
And that was when there was only a few teams. So that
switchity-do.
That's probably the most impressive one because there are so few teams. I'm sure the powers that be were incredibly powerful in those times.
Yeah, the 85 Royals didn't win again the Kansas City Royals won in 85, didn't win again until 2015. We look at this stretch of breaking losing streaks or lack of titles. 1908 for the Cubs, over 100 years. They win it last year, and now the Astros.
You know, we all know memorabilia guy, like the guy who has. I'm talking crazy amounts of memorabilia. Mm-hmm. You think there's a memorabilia guy who's just a complete farce, and he forges things, and it's like, well, this one,
that's my Babe Ruth.
Here's a Wayne Gretzky.
That looks like it's signed with a Sharpie. They didn't have Sharpies and. I don't think Babe Ruth had a Sharpie, John. Oh, no, he did. He did. That's Babe Ruth.
It's just a
And
memorabilia
he
guy
sticks to it.
without
He
a
just
code.
signs.
He's just got no code.
No code. He signs everything himself, so every signature looks exactly like this other one that was pinned.
It's his font.
Yeah. You're like, well, Ty Cobb signed that in a Sharpie as well. What are the chances?
Is that Comic Sans MS?
It's typed out. It's Apple Paint. It's like he's like, I don't think that's real. Oh, no, definitely.
No, that's the ball that Mankiewicz put in his pocket after the Red Sox broke the curse. Signed by Doug.
Yeah, it just says Doug. It doesn't even say Mankiewicz. It says Doug in a crayon. Crayon.
Which way? You say crayon?
It's crayon.
Oh, you say crayon?
Good. I know it's that. But when I was a little kid, I called it crayon, and sometimes it rears its ugly head, and I'll go, that's not what it is, Jeff. It's crayon. I understand. Frustratingly so that's still in there. Childhood stuff sticks with you.
Man, the worst was with crayons. If you got the non-Crayola and you could see the difference in quality when you were coloring.
The quality was garbage.
What is this?
My dad ruined me with crayons. He's a really meticulous guy. You know this. He's a very orderly guy.
Yeah, he seems like a pencil sharpener kind of guy.
He's that kind of guy. And everything has its place, and that's why when I go visit him in Georgia, I move stuff around. But I know that by Wednesday I'll get a text. Why the hell would you have? Yeah, so I do that. And he has a place for the shoes where they got to go. Yes, everything's got a home. Let's put it that way. Everything's got a home. Magnets, they got a home.
Was he always that way, or was it military that
That's
did it
all.
to him?
No, military did it to him.
Okay.
Military did it to him. He makes his bed. He's one of those makes his bed every morning perfectly. I mean, it's like military style.
Really?
Every morning.
Even though he's going to sleep back in that same bed.
Exactly.
14 hours later.
The world can be divided between people who bake their beds and those who don't.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. It's weird. But he does. And anyhow, why did I bring that up? We were talking about crayons. So I had a coloring book, and I'm little, and I'm outside the lines, which you can imagine for a guy like that is really maddening.
Good for Bob Lee, bad for you in the situation.
And I'm doing all this coloring with my superheroes and the like, and quite frequently I'm well outside the line. And also, the grain is not going all one way. He believes that you need to color in the same direction from body part to body part so that it's smooth in the same way.
Sounds like isolationism.
So he grabs it one day, and I'm showing him this thing I've done of Superman that I'm so excited about, and I can see it. I'm old enough to remember this now, and it's etched indelibly. He goes, "Good job, son," and I can tell he doesn't mean it. It's bothering him, and he's looking at it. He's like, "Well, they put those lines." He starts to he's telling me about the lines, so this is good. And I go, "Well, okay," but the message isn't getting home to me quite clearly. And he goes, "Yeah, no, you're not supposed to do this outside the lines." He goes, "Can I color the next one?" And we turn the page, and it's another Superman. It's actually Clark Kent standing by a dock in a suit.
Okay, yeah.
And he's got his glasses on and a hat and the whole deal. And my dad says, "Can I color this one?" I'm like, "Sure," because I'm excited to see Dad color something. It's a Rembrandt. I mean, it comes back.
Uses the side of the crayon to get the
Yep.
He's
got. I mean, it is. He goes there. What do you think, son? I can still remember.
What a jerk move.
I love him for it now. It's absurd. It is so representative, though. It's perfect.
There's some competitiveness in there too.
No,
Let me show you how it's done.
Ridiculous. I'm sure I do something that's akin to that with my kids. I don't know what it would be. Probably boxing out in basketball on a 7-year-old or something. But
I got in trouble for calling Jenny in my elementary school ridiculous because she would take the skinny markers and do the inside line, and then use crayon. And I call that method ridiculous.
Like,
it's called coloring with crayons. Why would you use a marker? And I actually got in trouble for that.
But you probably should have gotten in trouble for that. Everybody can have their own artistic freedoms, Tom.
No.
You can do whatever
It's not. No. Why don't we break out the colored pencils while we're here?
You can do whatever you want. It's her picture. It doesn't affect you.
Yes, it did. It still does.
But it ought not.
It doesn't look the same.
I'm just saying, I don't do it that way either.
The
Tom,
lines
but
are already there.
But I certainly wouldn't care if Susan or Mary or whatever the hell her name was.
If you want to do the dark lines, with the actual crayon, because people do that,
right?
And then do the light colors, I got you, no problem. It's the same texture. It's the same utensil.
But you took issue that she's using two different
markers and crayons.
Yeah.
It's anarchy at that point.
Well, but some people like to live outside the lines, man. They like to do things their own way, and they bring a little something to the table. You can learn from it. You don't have to scold it. You don't have to tell everybody that, nope, you got to get uniform.
My buddy Patrick would always color outside of it, and there would just be the white drawing inside.
You're one of those guys who just loves a parade and marching. I worry about you. Wait
a minute.
Everybody's uniformly doing one thing the way it's supposed to be done.
No, but there's no coming back from where I put myself.
Oh, that's fun. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
TNT Supercenter is your one-stop shop for the largest inventory of golf carts and accessories, stocking over 150 new and pre-owned carts with prices starting under $2,000. Whether you're looking for a standard or custom golf cart, TNT has the perfect cart for you. TNT carries and services leading brands and the full line of premium Mad Jacks accessories. Stop by or call to find out about our zero-down, low-interest rate financing, free delivery, and rental programs. Visit TNTSupercenter.com.
TNT. I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Job site. Whether you need entry-level or highly skilled employees, no matter the industry, with Indeed you get immediate access to a high-quality pool of talent with no long-term contracts or upfront fees. For a limited time, Indeed is offering new users a $50 credit to make their first job listing a sponsored job with premium visibility so more candidates will see it. You want to make a great hire fast, and this exclusive offer gives you a head start. Independent research shows 6 times more hires are delivered through Indeed than any other job site, making Indeed your one-stop source for hiring. To redeem this offer, go to Indeed.com/offer. That's Indeed.com/offer. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Attention small business owners, you know how hard it is to get funding to grow your business. Next Wave Funding is a direct funder that can help you get the cash you need when you need it, even if your credit is not that great. If you've been in business for over 1 year, have at least $12,000 in sales every month, Next Wave will purchase your future earnings and give you the money you need. It's as simple as that. This is by far the easiest and best funding for existing businesses. Call 800-430-4566. That's 800-430-4566.
Beef O'Brady's Burgers Across America with Des Moines Triple Bacon, Green Bay's 5-Cheeser, or the Memphis Love Me Tender. All made with premium blend Angus. Pick any 2 for just $17. Beefs, but your Angus, it's good.
You're locked in with the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Clear-cut sign that I'm as domesticated as they come. And there is no, like, on-the-edge, thrill-seeking in the Cameron household. And that I'm 46. Clear-cut sign that I'm as domesticated as they come. And there is no, like, on-the-edge, thrill-seeking in the Cameron household. And that I'm 46. Is it disturbing that I legitimately got excited today when I received an email from the Yankee Candle Company letting me know that they were having a big sale this week and 50% off? And I went, all right. I mean, I legitimately got very excited about that email, Tom.
Really?
Yeah. Free shipping if you want to just order from the house, but I like to go myself. I like to go there and test the different smells. New candles, 50% off. Accessories, 50% off. Huge, exclusive holiday event, Tom, for Yankee Candle. 50% off all candles. Car and home fragrances, too.
Wait.
Yeah,
this is not paid for, though. We want people to know that. This is just you being honest about what you're excited about.
They sent me a coupon, and I got very excited about the 50% off all candles. It expires November the 5th. So I'm going to... The day after my son's birthday, I'm going to say, son, that was a great birthday. Why don't we keep the excitement rolling, hop in the car, and go with your dad to the mall where we're going to get a Yankee Candle for 50% off.
Because today is November the 5th.
So it's ridiculous. That's a true story. I got that email today. It came in at 9:58 a.m., if you must know, and I was already in my inbox returning emails, responding to certain things that I have to do for work, and I saw it, and it went bing. And it said Yankee Candle Company. I went, oh, and I clicked it, and then I saw that. All right, wait till I tell Christy.
Okay, so, well, that's the other domesticated part. Yeah. Wait till I tell Christy.
I haven't called her yet, Tom. I thought about it, but I'm going to give her the surprise when I get home. Hey, hon, check it out. Yankee Candle, 50% off this week. And she's going to go, oh, that's great.
This is how domesticated you are, that when you go home and you meet your lady at home and you give her the surprise. The surprise
is it a sale on Yankee Candles? That's right.
It's not any other surprise.
And sadly, she's more excited about that surprise than she would be the other. I kid, I hope.
Where do you stand on the incense game? Incense versus candles.
I'm a candle guy.
Okay, me too.
Yeah.
I think a candle pairs very nicely. And this is funny you bring this up.
Oh, because you're thinking about it.
No, because
it pairs nicely with what?
With an open window and a cool breeze. Aren't those two just married perfectly together?
Yeah. Well, you get that cross breeze when you open up the house, Tom. You got that back door and then the front, with the screen porch and all that.
You get the fresh linen scent, which is a great one.
It's a good one. It is a good one. This time of year, I tend to go with like apple pie or
cinnamon or something.
Some sort of, it's that time of year, of course. And I really break it down. I get into my candle shopping. So I want you to know that I'm a candle guy. I'm coming out here on the air today.
Maybe next...
I'm a candle guy. I'm very proud of it.
Next year for your birthday, maybe I'll just get you a Yankee Candle gift card.
Oh, buddy. That would be the best thing you've ever given me, and you've given me some good stuff.
I've given you scotch.
Golf clubs,
I've given you golf clubs.
Yeah. No, I'll be like...
Grips, clubs, shafts.
Accessories. Christy, listen. Look what Tom gave me for my birthday. What is it? A gift card to Yankee Candle. That guy is so damn thoughtful. It's sad. I'm constantly, my candle game is strong. If you come into my house, you're like, woo, my goodness, the candles. And so what happens is I got them going all over the house, but I'll forget to blow them out before I go to bed.
Oh, no.
It's all right. But anyhow, so I'll get up to get water at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'll smell it. I'll go, ooh. And I don't want Christy to know, so I'll go running down the hall, and I'll find where, there it is. Because I've gotten up before to get in the shower, like 5:30, and she gets up to start the coffee. Next thing, the bathroom door opens. You left the candle on all night right by the window. This is us. Yeah.
Okay, the concerned eyes look like, your eyes are as you go.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
All right, so the candle that we have is on the coffee table, but as the night goes on,
solid Yankee Candle.
It is.
Okay, good job.
It is. It's okay. We're good. I've grown up.
Yeah.
But sometimes we'll pull it nearer to the edge of the coffee table. Just we
a little bit,
extra more wafting.
Get
this
you
way.
some of that smell. Yeah.
Right. but then the coffee table kind of moves close to the couch if we put something on.
Gotta be careful.
Well, yes, and I always move it before I move, but she doesn't.
And so
when the blanket starts sweeping around it,
no,
we move that candle
light
away.
this stuff on fire.
I can see this happening.
The eyes get big. Yeah.
Yes.
I got one in the kitchen, one in the living room, one down the hall, and one in the bathroom of one of the bathrooms, of course. So I got them going. And I try to marry the smells. I'm not doing like, we don't get peppermint over here and candy apple over
so
here.
it's not like different room, different scent altogether?
You got to be unified on the candle front.
What is the most peaceful scent of a candle you've ever owned?
Well, I like wintertime. I'm a holidays guy, so it's always going to be some sort of baked apple pie, cinnamon. My mom used to make apple pies.
Okay.
So that's really what it is. And that's a big one. Any cinnamony pine forest is good too.
Yeah.
But yeah. Those kinds.
Pine's good.
Good.
During the day.
During
it's
the
not
day.
much of a nighttime
No, it's not a night
scent.
candle. No, night candle is definitely
Apple
pie.
I was never big into apple pie.
I love it. But there are ones that are like that aren't quite apple pie.
But my aunt would bring it over. She still does for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And every time that I would go upstairs, change into whatever, nighties as we called them, but the PJ pants and the shirt or whatever after dinner was over. And you would always, as I'm going upstairs to change, you could smell the apple pie. You're like, oh man, another holiday. This is really, really nice. Except there wasn't a cool breeze coming through the window, Jeff, because in Tampa for Thanksgiving or Christmas, it's going to be 75 or hotter every year.
That's annoying as all hell.
It used to be when I was a little kid, we had little cool breezes, but no more.
That doesn't happen anymore.
Every time I go there for a holiday, freaking 85 degrees.
I do like that Goofenberg wrote me today. My man, absolutely killing it this year. Is Wyoming your new team now? You're on them every week. No more who's. So, yeah, I left Virginia alone a while ago. They started to go south on me.
It was a good ride, though.
It was a little ride, but you got to know when to get off the ride. It's time to get on the new ride. Wyoming's been a consistently good ride. Wyoming is solid as a ride. You know what Wyoming's been from a covering standpoint?
Bucking Broncos.
What Wyoming is just a good Honda Civic, maybe a I don't want to put Toyota Celica. Maybe what's the
Nissan Versa?
Okay,
the Versa.
Versa's real small though, right?
It's a little smaller.
I want a medium. What's your
the
Nissan?
Sentra? No, the
you got a
Sentra's
nice
a
Sentra,
good size car these days.
Yeah.
In fact, it's the same size with the interior space as the Altima was, say, about 10, 15 years ago.
You could go on the lot and let everybody know.
Oh, I could.
Yeah, you could. Guys, let me talk to you about the Sentra. So here's the thing.
A fully loaded one.
Yeah, fully loaded Sentra.
Bose sound system, the whole nine.
No, I've seen your car. It's very nice. Chris Kraft and Kraft Nissan did a great job. So what I would say is one of those mid-size, reliable cars. They're going to last you a good 10 to 12 years. Nice, easy ride. You're not wowing anybody, but you're not disappointing anybody. That's Wyoming in the cover game. You got to know when. This seems like a good week. They're in a good spot. They're playing better right now. Colorado State rolling in there. Colorado State wants none of that. That would be a game, and I swear this is true. If somebody said this weekend, Jeff, you and Tom, we're flying you to a game, it's on the list that we're having to decide. Wyoming, Colorado State, this time of year? Come on, man. How much fun would we have at that game?
Oh, that would be fantastic.
It's high on the list.
You talk about the smells. You don't need candles.
No.
You could just tell.
I'm disappointed we're not going. I would rather be at that game than our game, and I mean that. I would.
I tend to agree.
Yes.
Now, I got family coming in this weekend, so outside of that.
No, I'm just saying, I'd like to be. Now, if you're doing that, if you're going to have fun with these other games when your season's lost, you're looking for these games. Well, first of all, Clemson-NC State would be a fun game this weekend. The Wiz Palace will be going nuts over there at NC State. But, I'm always partial to a classic crappy game. So, like Illinois-Purdue would be on my list. All right, let's go catch them Boilermakers. But let's see. Ohio State-Iowa. Fun game. In Iowa.
That's a fun game.
This time of year.
I just thought, and how have I not done this before? I'll have to do it next year for we're on the road at NC State next year. Is that right? Yes, it is. So, the beginning of Gin and Juice, the song?
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, and he's using the restroom. There it is for the Wiz Palace.
Oh, nice. We'll use it.
Perfect.
It's the beginning before the music starts. Yeah. I like it. I would also like to be at the Colorado-Arizona State game. That would be a fun game, too.
Yes, indeed.
Just to let you know.
No, Arizona State's a talented university.
Arizona State has a lot of talent. I've been on the campus. I've walked the campus. I went to the baseball field. Saw Pat Murphy out there, former coach there. Or is he still the coach? I don't know. But anyhow, yeah, that's...
could be alive, could be dead.
He's the baseball coach. We used to play teams on our baseball schedule that were big named outside of the conference or state. It used to happen. Doesn't happen anymore.
That gripe has arrived on November the 2nd tells you how poorly this football season has gone.
I'm pissed about it. I've got other things to gripe about. I'll do it next. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
TNT Supercenter is your one-stop shop for the largest inventory of golf carts and accessories, stocking over 150 new and pre-owned carts with prices starting under $2,000. Whether you're looking for a standard or custom golf cart, TNT has the perfect cart for you. TNT carries and services leading brands and the full line of premium Mad Jacks accessories. Stop by or call to find out about our zero-down, low-interest rate financing, free delivery, and rental programs. Visit TNTSupercenter.com.
TNT. I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough, I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Show featuring Jeff Cameron and Tom Lang.
Yeah, I like them.
Get the latest news, interviews, and insights 3 hours ahead of kickoff before the Noles defend home turf.
Hey, on Saturday, we're going to play a game. We're going to most likely win that game, and we're going to celebrate on Sunday.
Tallahassee Game Day is brought to you by Whole Foods Market, a leader in natural and organic food that brings the highest quality of local and global products to Tallahassee. Whole Foods Market, located at 1817 Thomasville Road, and presented by MMT Clinics of Florida. Visit MMTCFL.com.
To the pylon! That's a Seminoles touchdown!
This Day in Sports, brought to you by Superlube. Superlube, 19 Tallahassee area locations. Quick, convenient, no appointment necessary.
This day in sports history. November 2nd, 1955. Joe Torre, who previously managed the New York Mets, Atlanta Braves, and St. Louis Cardinals, was named manager of the New York Yankees. He would last longer than any manager in the Steinbrenner era, managing 12 full seasons, 1,942 regular season games, winning 6 American League pennants, and 4 World Series titles.
Live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Redemption Thursday on the Jeff Cameron Show is brought to you by Frank's Auto World on West Tennessee Street, ranked by Car Gurus as the best used car dealer in Tallahassee. Check out the best selection of pre-owned vehicles in Tallahassee at franksautowworld.com.
Tonight, quite as interesting as a Game 7 of the World Series, as it were last night when we were signing off in anticipation for what's on tap. And if you would, cue it up, good sir.
Ready for a cold one?
Sure.
Proof Brewing Company in Railroad Square Art Park presents What's on Tap. So, Jeff, what'll it be?
Oh, the big Eastern Michigan Ball State game, no doubt. Yeah, the college football slate on Thursday nights this year. But sorry, I'll be watching the Lightning, and they're taking on the Rangers. I'll also be checking in a little bit, just a little bit, with the Jets and the Bills.
More
So
interesting.
Yeah.
When you saw the Thursday slate for the beginning of the season, you thought, well, that's a battle of 2 and 5 teams. It isn't. It's actually somewhat
It's okay.
kind of sort of compelling.
Maybe. Oh, it's a competitive game, Tom. It's a competitive game.
No, it will be that.
Yeah, and I'll watch a little bit of that. But the Thursday night slate for college football, we were just talking during the break, knowing this segment was coming up, and we were going through the games. There are multiple games tonight. Navy is taking on Temple, which I guess, I maybe I'll watch that. Eastern Michigan's taking on Ball State, as I said. Northern Illinois and Toledo. Do we remember it wrong? I thought Thursday night games, typically week in and week out about this juncture of the season, were pretty compelling. You usually got a matchup that you thought, oh, man, Thursday night football gods, be careful, upset alert, everybody. Big matchup or Oregon State against Washington or something. I mean, we got nothing this year, just garbage. You're right. NC State, Louisville, was there anything else? I mean,
no.
Like, I don't remember another game that I thought, I mean, there have been some good games, but not matchups of Power 5 teams.
No. Again, yeah, they moved the Miami Georgia Tech game. That was going to be a good one.
That would have been a good one.
Yeah,
that would have been a great one.
Probably would have been better.
Yeah,
but think about it. I mean, the Clemson Syracuse game was on a Friday this year.
Friday night. Yeah,
we played on a Friday. Got our ass handed to us. It was this past Friday, actually.
Yeah, and I believe Southern Cal also had a loss on a Friday night. I know Washington State did, but they're. Screw these Friday night games, man. Nobody's watching those games. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't understand why there would be a movement to Fridays.
Well, first of all, you really upset all the high school folks when you do that. And I don't talk a lot about high school football here, but I did play high school football, of course, and so did a lot of you. And, yeah, Friday nights have always just been high school football nights. That's the way it works.
Yeah, I'm looking next week, too. Thursday, nothing from a rank standpoint. It's Stanford-Washington on Friday.
On Friday, but not
on Thursday. No,
they got to stop that. That's terrible. Don't do that, man. Go back to Thursday. Thursday felt good. Now we at least get Maction on Tuesdays. That started back.
Did you check in on the Maction?
I did not check in on the Maction.
5 hours on Tuesday.
I did not. Why?
I don't know.
Hey,
I'm assuming there wasn't a weather delay. I just tuned in at the end of the World Series. It was still in the fourth quarter.
Oh no, I didn't tune in. But I will say this. I feel like it's an annual discussion. At some point during the football season, we end up having this kind of a discussion, but I saw a lot of it last week in the NFL and in particular in college, and I see it more and more in college in general. We got to stop over officiating games. We got an epidemic here. Officials will call a penalty on 5-6 plays in a row. And when I was a kid growing up, I remember I'd watch football with my stepdad or my father, but my stepdad would watch a replay, and he'd go, you can call that on every play if you want to. I mean, these are grown-ass men out here trying to get an advantage, ever so slight. These penalties are reserved for the egregious, for the obvious effort to cheat. Like, you don't have to call borderline. You can let borderline go. They always choose to penalize borderline now. So you couple that with the over-the-top protections for quarterbacks, the over-the-top protections for receivers, the over-the-top emphasis on safety for a game that's not safe. That's just the way if you choose to play that game, you could get hurt, and everybody knows it. But now, if anybody gets hit real hard, there's a penalty, no matter what, just because it looks bad. Guy got hit hard, and you allow for guys on the backside of a play to get called for a ticky-tack foul that doesn't affect the play, which they're supposed to and they've been instructed to, so we were told by the late Doug Rhodes, let that go, and they don't let that go. It just adds up to a penalty festival, and at times can be unwatchable, literally unwatchable, where you end up saying to yourself, if at the end of this game I just forwarded through to the actual plays, the condensed version of these games where I only saw football plays, not penalized, false starts, and all that stuff, you realize that you're sitting around a television for 4 hours and watching 25 minutes worth of football. What you're getting in between are the commercials, halftime, kickoff commercial, punt commercial, timeouts, reviews, penalties. It's infuriating. It's been, and to me, it's especially bad right now. We've been growing to this place, but it feels especially bad to me right now.
Well, that's because since it's over officiated, anytime they miss any call, now it's, well, you're not going to throw the flag for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's gotten to at this point. And it's the idea. You're right. You know, that Doug Rhodes meeting, he said something else. He said, when in question for foul X, Y, throw the flag.
Yeah,
instead
I don't like that spirit. The spirit of that.
When it's egregious, throw the flag.
Yeah.
It's when in doubt, throw the flag.
So back to that example, when I was 8, 9 years old watching games, we would watch, and the flag would go. This is how when you're little, obviously all of you learn the same thing. You learned by at what point in the play the flag was thrown, and generally where. You know exactly what's coming. That's a hold. That's a clip. That's probably a late hit. That's interference. Whatever it might be, right? So once you kind of get a grasp on that, then obviously they'll show, here's where the holding took place. And back then he would say, my stepdad, you can call that on every play. I mean, you can call that on every play. But then there were the ones that were obviously holding, and we would all chuckle. We go, well, if you're going to do it, you might as well earn your money's worth. And everybody knew what that looked like.
Yeah.
Everybody knew what that was.
Because if it's called on your team, you go, well, I mean, come on, man. You're mad at your own player
Yeah,
instead of the
yeah.
official. Out of nowhere, you flip sides. You go, oh, well, Jesus,
Yeah,
man.
when you see it, you're like, you can't tackle my man. You can't do that. That's but those are that's holding. Everybody gets the grappling that's going to take place between two behemoths. The war that's going to go on in the trenches is going to involve a lot of nastiness. They'll call, if a guy gets a hand by the chin, the old rule, and they just do not call it this way now, is you had to immediately remove your hand from the face. And if you did that, they did not throw the flag because it was an unintended consequence of a block between two violent men going hand-to-hand combat.
Right.
It can happen, especially guys are swimming and doing all that. Your hand gets shot up to the face. As long as you remove it and don't hold it there, they would never call it. Now they always throw that flag.
3 things that drive me nuts watching any football game. Number 1 has nothing to do with officiating. It's when a quarterback in an offense lines up before a 2-minute warning, end of quarter, whatever, and they have no awareness of the play clock. And they go through everything, and
gyration.
they fully intend to snap the ball, and then they do so a
That's
half
just
second
weird.
late.
Yeah, that's just weird.
It's like, how does this happen?
Yeah.
That always drives me nuts. Number 2, in the NFL game, it's the cop-out of illegal contact and defensive holding. You don't want to call the pass interference because you don't want to assess the 30 yards.
Right.
But you're going to call the 5 yards and give them an automatic first down. That's a joke.
Yeah.
That's a huge joke.
I just think that it's an over-officiated game, and it ruins the integrity of the game oftentimes. Officials can change outcomes. We've always known that, but I've always been on the side that they don't, that by and large there are enough plays to be made by the team that feels cheated by the officials that could have offset some of these borderline calls. But anymore with the way that it's called, I'm not so sure that's true.
Well, and the last one is, and I've seen a spate of these being called in both the college and the pro game, holding calls on the offensive line when a player falls down on his own.
Oh, yeah.
When a defensive rush, whether it be a rush end, a tackle, or a linebacker, whoever it is, they fall down on their own while the offensive lineman or whoever, be it the tight end, is engaged,
and they
throw a flag. That's not, man, if the guy slips.
Here's the problem. Defensive linemen are actually taught how to do that. If you're beat on the block and you're not going to be able to get there and you're engaged, if you pull the offensive lineman down discreetly, it looks like he's pulling you down.
Correct.
And
you flail your arms while you're doing it.
You can work the call. So they're taught to do that, which I get. You're trying to get over. And I think that one's almost an impossibility for the officials because you and I saw how ridiculous the trenches are to try to govern. That's why I get so mad when they do call ticky-tack fouls. Do you know the kind of bloodshed that's going on in those trenches?
Yeah.
The kind of, nasty hand fighting and leg whipping and all the stuff that goes on. And you're going to call that?
Sure.
No. You got to let him play, man.
There was a call in the Tampa-Buffalo game that epitomizes that, and it's my team, so I see these a little bit, more vividly. But I've seen it across the sport.
It happens a lot.
Where you have a rush end basically running into the hips of the offensive, I think it was our left tackle, and he's falling down to his knees, and the offensive lineman is holding him, trying to prevent him from landing on his feet or whatever.
Well, right,
so he
right.
doesn't get
And
rolled up on.
it looks like a hold.
And
yeah.
it looks like he's grabbing him and pile driving him. But you have to know in the situation there, Donovan Smith is not trying to wrap you around his arms.
He's not going to be that obvious.
He's not trying to give you
a WWE pile driver.
What is Triple H's finishing move? You know, the one where he puts your arms and then he
yeah. What is that called?
The pedigree.
There
Thank
it
you,
is.
Matthew.
Thank you.
Yeah. He's not trying to pedigree you. That's you falling
It'd
down.
be really cool if he was.
Well, if you're going to call
I
it,
mean,
you
if
may
you're
as
gonna
well
get
get your money's worth.
Let's get some pedigrees up in here.
Little
All
face
right.
mask in your
I
nose.
like it. Yeah. RKO or something or whatever. Yeah.
The pedigree. I'm pissed I forgot about what that name was.
It's all right. It's been a while. You don't see Triple H much anymore. So yeah, man.
Only
that
WrestleMania to take the belt back.
It's very, very aggravating. And I was thinking about it when we were talking about these games and the schedule of Thursday night games. I was thinking football in general has a problem. I mean, certainly not good Thursday night scheduling is frustrating, but the calls in these games, and it's across the board. I'm not saying it's one-sided against my teams. Every week I watch, I'm like, you're going to call that, man? That guy couldn't be further away from the play. And the other part, I'm going to stop here. They've got to stop waiting to see what happens before they throw the flag.
Mm-hmm.
That basketball has this issue sometimes.
Yes, it does.
But you have got to stop not calling something, and then the back gets through the line, and he's 10 yards downfield, and you realize that borderline hold you were thinking about calling and didn't call is now allowing for this guy to have a huge run, so you're going to throw the flag. It either is or it isn't, and it's called now.
NFL fans, any team, Walt Coleman's crew sucks. They get off on those plays. If it's a big play for you, they're looking for a reason to bring it back. They love it more than any other crew in the NFL.
That's the mindset, though. That's what I mean. I think there is a collective mindset, and it starts at the top with the way they tell these guys to officiate now. Instead of, if it's marginal, let it go. If it doesn't affect the play, let it go. If it's ticky-tacky and you're unsure and nobody has a distinct advantage, even though the maneuver may be technically illegal, let it go. Call the egregious, over-the-top, obvious holds, got to call it. Clips, obviously, got to call it. Launching, spear to the head, something like that, if you know it for sure, got to call it. Other than that, let these boys play. They get it. That's why they're in the weight room as long as they are. It's why they train year-round. It's why they know they play a gladiatorial sport and that it's nasty out there. That's the way of the world.
Yeah, one thing I always ask when watching any sporting event in any sport, whatever you're calling in the first quarter, period, half,
call in the last
you got to call in the last. Just call it from the beginning to the end. But you all know it from watching the game. If you look in the first quarter at 4 or 5 plays where you go, oh, they're not going to throw that flag, and after example 4 or 5, you say to yourself, well, they're letting them play today. Or option B, you have a game where they throw a flag for everything. Which one do you enjoy more?
Right. It's
you
obviously
enjoy option A a hell of a lot
more.
Well,
always. And the other night on Monday Night Football, I thought Gruden was going to just start to weep. They had, I think it was 4 to 5 plays in a row where a flag was thrown. And 3 of the 5 replays didn't really show anything of consequence. They were really marginal at best.
With that being said about what the officials should or shouldn't do, does it seem to you like there are more motion penalties, procedure penalties than before? I feel like there are so many false start penalties.
Maybe. I think part of the problem we have, I was thinking about why it's gotten to this point. Emphasis on safety is a big one, and it's hard to argue against emphasis on safety. But the other one is these guys are just too big, too strong, too fast. They didn't anticipate that human beings were going to be 6'5", 265, running 4.4 40s. Like, that just wasn't supposed to happen.
You know the solution for that? Increase the size of the field.
Ooh,
if you have to cover more ground.
Wide open game then, man.
But if you have to cover more ground, you know what? There's
it's
not
already hard enough to play defense, Tom.
Well, you'd have to return to some of the old,
you'd have to learn some rules. Yeah. Our thanks to Proof Brewing Company for sponsoring What's on Tap. Proof Brewing Company since 2007, offering Tallahassee's finest craft beer selections at their massive tap room in Railroad Square Art Park and Can Deliciousness in stores near you. Good work, Tom. Good work, Matthew. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. Enjoy your Redemption Thursday evening, the marginal football games, maybe a little hockey.
Well, how about the countdown coming up next?
Oh, that's true. That's true. While you're getting in your car to head home to watch all those things, you can listen to the countdown, which is forthcoming right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Be well, everybody. Talk to you tomorrow.